heard before.
Well, Gene, they've been very successful on home ice this season, and they are more of an aggressive hockey club, and I think that's what the city of Pittsburgh needs. They like their Steelers, and the Steelers, of course, probably one of the most physical teams in the National Football League, and I think it only stands to reason, and if they had a physical team in here, that they would really support them, and I think it's been quite evident. Let's take time out now for the national anthem. Dan Duvall singing that national anthem. The referee tonight, Wally Harris, the linesman, Willard Norris, and Bob Luther. The goaltender for Philadelphia is Pelle Lindbergh. Only played in one game so far in that 6-2 loss up in Buffalo. And in goal for Pittsburgh, Michel Dion played in 13 games so far, has allowed 45 goals. That makes it a 3.46 average. Now with the opening lineups and dropping the puck, Gene Hart.
Pat Quinn, a line shakeup. He's got Bridgman back at center with Billy Barber on the left, Dorrance on the right. Cochran back with Jimmy Watson. And it's Greg Malone out for Pittsburgh with that fine checker and penalty killer George Ferguson on the right wing, Pat Graham on the left. Defensively, they have Paul Baxter with Pat Price. And Baxter and Price have already combined for 175 penalty minutes. Wally Harris drops the puck and the Pens control right side. Baxter over the red line, dumps in, and they all chase to the right of Lindbergh. In there is an offside call. Then immediately we get Baxter and Bridgman going at it, and Baxter is going to go off at 6 seconds for high sticking, I believe.
Gee, the puck was shot in by Baxter. Bridgman was in front of him. He came down with a two-hander over the back of Bridgman, right in front of Wally Harris. So quickly, the tone is starting to be set. At the 6-second mark, Baxter will get that high sticking call. The Flyers will have their first shot at the power play.
Just to note that Bobby Taylor and I have been paid and selected by the Philadelphia Flyers. And Bobby, in my memory, that's a record for the fastest penalty ever in a Philadelphia game at the start of the game. For Baxter, he has 86 minutes. The Flyers are 18 for 50 on the power play against Pittsburgh. They're an excellent 4 for 12. And they've got an opportunity to get out early. Sinisalo out with Leach and Clark. They have Barber at the right point with Ben Wilson. Ferguson, as you might expect, out there with Mark Johnson. Each scored a shorthanded goal here against the Rangers on Wednesday. Clark up the middle with Barber on his right. Over the line, drop pass. Barber a drive. Blocked by Carlisle. Clark picks up the rebound, goes back to the point. Goes cross ice, and it's stolen away, and there's Ferguson, a head start, but he can't control the puck. It slides in on Lindbergh, who clears up along the near side. Ilka Sinisalo is stripped of the puck by the Olympian Mark Johnson as the Pens go back to Stackhouse, and he drills it off, leaks his leg to the Philadelphia line. Billy Barber up the slot now to Sinisalo, has to circle back to his own line and start up ice. Plays through to Ben Wilson. He's got Clark with him. Over the line to Clark. Tries to drop to Wilson. Pass is broken up by the Pens, Randy Carlisle. Now Clark penetrates to Sinisalo at the blue line. Leach shoves it in, but the Pens are very solid and they clear it away, as they've allowed just 3 power play goals in their last 30 shorts at Pittsburgh. And they're goalless against in their last 13 disadvantages. Ben Wilson over the line to Clark. First time they've really set up the shot. Back to the right point. Right circle pass to Sinosalo. 49 seconds on the advantage. In close to Leach. Short side shot. The save is made by Dion. Clears out to Mark Johnson, who sends it all the way down. Now the Pens bring out Malone with Peter Lee, and defensively they have Mario Faubert with Pat Price as Lynchman up the middle with Bridgman on his left. Over the line to Prop. He's in. Shot off the right shoulder of Dion and up into the end seats. Might have hit the crossbar.
It did, Gene. It got a piece of Dion's shoulder and the crossbar as he was going for that top shelf on the glove side. But Flyers have to be very careful. They're making a lot of passes right at the Pittsburgh blue line. And usually when you make that pass there, you got to... That defender has a chance to step in there and intercept it, and he's gone. Good puck handling by Litzman as he had both defensemen converging on him. And that's when Prop took that quick shot. And all of a sudden, the faceoff will come outside the blue line, so it could not have hit Michel Dion.
Litzman, Bridgman with Prop. And defensively, the Flyers have Reed Bailey on the right, Fred Arthur on the right, along with Steve Smith, who has it now at center ice. 23 seconds remaining on the penalty to Baxter. Arthur over the line, top of the right circle. He's got 3 Pens around him. Works into the corner, pass Price, protects the puck, gives to Bridgman. Right circle pass to Prop. Prop goes straight away to the point. Gets it back from Linsman in the right circle. No shot to the side of the net, Arthur. Arthur goes behind. Comes to the near side. Has no one to give it to in front as Bridgman goes back to the right wing corner. Now the pass to Bridgman as the penalty is over. Arthur he's got Prop in front. Straight away to Linsman. A drive high and wide to the short side. And ricochets out to Lee. And here come the Pens. Malone up the middle. Picked up by Arthur, but hits Baxter over the line. He's got a man in front. Lee. He kicks at the puck. And Lindbergh with a great skate save to his left and deflects it out of the rink as Baxter got that headbanding pass off his skate.
Excellent play on the part of Pittsburgh, but what a fine save by Pelle Lindbergh as he dove right across in front to get that shot. But Freddie Arthur took out Malone at center ice. That left Baxter free on the left wing. Then when Smith came over to pick him up, that left the Johnson all alone in front, and Lindbergh made the big save.
Right, the Pens have Paul Gardner, who set a Pittsburgh record last December 13th here when he had 4 goals against Philadelphia. Most ever by a Pen in a game. 3 of them on the power play. He's out with Kehoe and Boutet. The #1 line, Russ Anderson with Stackhouse. Flyers with Flockhart out. Trying to get the puck out of their own circle. Clear off Gorantz's body, but not out. Puck wound by the Pens around behind the net up on their own offensive left wing side. Boutet, boom, is drilled by Cochran as the Flyers slide it all the way down. The trailing official, Willard Norris, has to hand up. Stackhouse first in on the puck before Gorantz. And we have an icing called. We have 17-19 remaining in a scoreless first period.
You know how it feels when you want excitement, when you want to be good to yourself? It feels like the Sands. The Sands Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City. Indulgence packages. Days and nights to dine elegantly. See great entertainment. Sporting events. Play golf, racquetball, or just work on your winter suntan. Starting at $49.90. Call 800-257-8580 for details. You'll love how it feels.
Play is on, and we've got Flockhart hurt behind the net. Gets up to try to retrieve the puck. He was going in at a sharp angle, fell and went heavily into the boards. Now Flockhart tries to come out in front again. He's out along with Morrison and Gorantz. Puck behind the Pittsburgh net, wrapped around the right boards by Stackhouse, but then cleared by the Flyers defense onto the stick of the Pens who come back. Gardner in up the middle, right around Jimmy Watson. Tries to come in front, is pulled down, and we're going to have the first Flyer penalty as it's picked up by Boutet. Back to the right point. The goaltender is out. Shot in on the net. Save. They whack at it in front. It's caught by Jimmy Watson, who's going off for taking down Paul Gardner at 3:27. And the Pens, with the most power play goals in the league, 20. 5 for 14 against Philadelphia, get their first pop.
Holding will be the call on Watson. Gardner made an inside-out move and got to the side of Watson. That's when Watson grabbed a hold of him, but Paul Gardner helped out a little bit, too, as he made a big fall. And that is a heads-up play on the part of the Penguin player, because Wally Harris was in behind the play, and all he saw was the big action to the ice. Consequently, the holding call at 3:27. Scratch for Philadelphia tonight: Bob Daly, Frank Baith, Tim Kerr, Al Hill, Paul Holmgren. They're all injured. And goalie Pete Peters. Pittsburgh's without Doug Shedden and Craig Shepard.
40% of Pittsburgh's 52 goals have come on the power play, and 5 of the 6 against Philadelphia. They control. Boutet, Kehoe, Gardner with Faubert and Carlisle. Ben Wilson behind the net is double-teamed by Boutet and by Gardner. Now Bridgman in there to help out, but Wilson outgunned, 2-on-1, ties it up in his own left wing corner. Tickets are on sale, you know, for all Flyer games, including the next one coming up Thursday with Hartford. Now, the operators are on duty now to take your order. All you have to do is dial this number, 215, the code, dial the word L-I-N-E and the number 555. You must have a major credit card to place your order tonight. We'll be taking calls till the end of the game. At the point, Faubert can't get inside Bridgman, who breaks with Barber, 2-on-2. Barber through, but Carlisle on that lift pass knocks it down and comes back 3-on-2 at center ice. Over the line, drops to the right circle, in front to Kehoe. Can't make the play in the left wing corner. Now comes out of the corner, picked up by Reed Bailey. They've got Boutet in front. They've got Gardner to the left side of Lindbergh. Straight away to the point now to Carlisle. Goes to the right circle, closing in Faubert. Goes to the side of the net. Gardner tries to come in front. The puck is kicked loose, and out breaks the Flyers. Ben Wilson along with Bridgman, 2-on-1. Wilson a long drive and an excellent save by the stick of goaltender Dion. As we have 1:05 remaining on the Flyer penalty, as Clark is out there now with Gorance. Reed Bailey is on with Ben Wilson as the Pens lifted into the Flyer zone. Poor choice of plays as they were making a line change and literally gave away, Bobby, a half a minute of that power play advantage. Now the Pens along the near side. Baxter forechecked by Gorance, who dumps it deep in the corner. Out there is Malone. And on the far side, they've got Mike Bullard and Ferguson. Now they crisscross. Malone up the middle of the ice. 3 Flyers stretched across the line. Malone penetrates. Back to the left point to Price. Into the near circle, trying to find Bullard. But it's missed by Arthur, and Bullard tries to go back to the point. Gorance breaks it down and breaks out with Clark crisscrossing at the pen line. Long drive by Clark from the top of the left wing circle. Catches Baxter's stick and sails way up into the end seats. 5:04 gone. Scoreless first period. We have 23 seconds remaining on the Jimmy Watson penalty.
We have a couple of scores. Gene, Hartford has opened up a quick 2-0 lead over Minnesota in the first period. Wesley and Howe, the goal scorers. Quebec and Boston are tied at 1 halfway through the first period. Park for Boston, Lacroix for Quebec.
Pierre Lacroix, the defenseman. Whenever he and St. Croix play, Bobby, I start saying Lacroix and St. Croix. All right, Flyers have 23 seconds to kill in the penalty. Clark still out with Gorance. Defensively, they have Steve Smith with Fred Arthur. And obviously, Pat Quinn has said we're not going to let the kids take it easy. They got to get right in heavy from the beginning to learn by the end of the year, Bobby. So they're in all the sticky situations. Puck at the line, taken in and out by the Flyers in Pittsburgh, and that's an offside as Clark deflected that right wing pass to center ice, and it was carried back in on the fly by Mike Bullard offside with 7 seconds remaining on the Pittsburgh power play. And Bobby, the Flyers have come up with some excellent play with Jimmy Watson in the box.
Well, Gene, they have a good penalty killing unit. They have 2 or 3 sets of them that can go out there and do an excellent job. It's just been really slack in the last 3 or 4 games, and that is one thing that's really caused them a lot of problems because they've been getting hurt on their man-short situations. And when you get penalized as often as Philadelphia does, you got to make sure that those are one of your strongest areas of the game.
Price is in. Left circle shot high over the left shoulder and wide of Pelly Lindbergh. Puck cleared back to Mark Johnson. Penalty over. Johnson a drive. He scores! Mark Johnson. No power play, but it comes at 5:30. 1-0 Pittsburgh.
On the short side, too, is a good shot by Johnson just inside the blue line. And on the angle. Watch it had just come on the ice. The shot came through a maze of players, but it was not touched. It looked like it went straight in. And Pittsburgh draws first blood, only the second or third shot on goal. And it's quickly a 1-0 Pittsburgh lead.
Well, not a goaltender, Bobby, but you shouldn't score from that angle into that position. Puck in front of the Pittsburgh net, but taken out was Propp as the Pens control in their own left wing corner. Mark Johnson gets a 6th of the year. Ben Wilson is shot from the left point. Blocked. Linsman gets it in the left wing corner and hurt on that play. It appeared to be Mario Faubert. Now, while we wait to see what that injury is and to whom, we'll advise you 14-10 remain in the first period. Pittsburgh 1 and the Flyers no score.
Neither rain, nor snow, nor gloom of night.
When people are counting on you to come through, it's nice to have a Toyota Corolla Tercel pulling for you.
She'll keep me from the completion of my appointed round.
The 1982 front-wheel drive Toyota Tercel, Toyota's lowest priced car. The Toyota Tercel, a car that pulls its own weight.
and a little bit more.
Tercel!
The injured Pittsburgh player is Mark Johnson. Just as Ben Wilson took the shot, Johnson blocked it, and I think the puck must have hit him. Gene, although he has not moved, he's very still down there. The trainer for the Penguins is out there, Steve Thomas, making sure that, or at least attending to him. But that official, Johnson, his 6th of the season. Paul Baxter and Pat Price pick up the assists at 5:30. Pittsburgh up 1-0 on that 6th goal by Mark Johnson. And Johnson is the injured player now. He's being aided off. It looks like he's savoring that right leg, Gene.
It buckled under him a little bit as he tries to put weight on it going into that tunnel way. Here comes the announcement. Mark Johnson gets his 6th from Baxter and Price at 5:30. Flyers, Bobby, in the last 5 games during their bad times have given up 17 first-period goals. That averages out to more than 3 goals every first period, and it's very tough for anybody to come back from 3 goals in that first period.
Usually, or at least it was in the first 8 games, that was their best period, but it's been a struggling one for them lately.
In the first 8 games, Bobby, they gave up just 6 first-period goals. Now the Flyers back to Ben Wilson, able to chop it down, just keeps it in. No. Yes, yes. As it was played by Willard Norris, you could see him waving safe to say it was a legit play. Now the puck dumped in, prop knocked down at center ice by Greg Malone, who's out with Ferguson and Pat Graham. Pens lead 1-0. Up on the right side, Baxter is checked. Puck rolls loose at the Flyer line and sent through to Prop. Coming along with Gary Morrison and Lintzman. They dump it in alongside Dion. Clears out to the point. Kept in. Reed Bailey a long drive wide of the net. Flyers try to make the play in the left wing as Lintzman cleverly cuts off Johnston to allow Ben Wilson to make the play, but then he cannot. Tries to keep it in the zone, and Lintzman does by himself. Avoids the check of Pat Price, but loses the puck on a poke check to Paul Baxter, who slides it up on the right wing at center ice off Ben Wilson stick into the Philadelphia end. Feeds near circle, and Cochran up the middle. Lintzman crisscrossing with Gorans. Left wing pass through to Prop over the line. 2-on-2. He's looking for some help. Dumps it in the corner as Russ Anderson took out Gorans and rolls it around to the near side to Pat Graham. Penguins forechecked in their own left wing corner. Bridgman digs it out. Back straight away to Barber. In, drive, score! Billy Barber from Bell Bridgman.
Boy, what a heads-up play by Bridgman. And Bridgman just is playing so well for Philadelphia. He took the puck in the corner. Instead of passing it out blindly from the corner, he took a look to see who was getting in position, going for the holes. Barber had just come off the bench and was moving into the play, and then Bridgman, when he laid the pass perfectly on Barber's stick, he went right through the crease, right in front of goaltender Dion, probably took some of the concentration away from the goaltender, and the Flyers have able to tie this hockey game on Barber's 8th goal of the year.
They gave Bridgman and Sinisalo the assist, but Bobby, I wasn't aware Ilka was on the ice, but up along the left side, Kehoe tries to hit Barber, but I think that was Gorans who they saw on ice. There's an icing play going to be called against Philadelphia. With 12:43 remaining in the first period, our game is tied at 1.
Cash or charge?
Check. See this check?
Yes, sir. It's from PSFS, and you haven't signed it.
Of course, you can't see the best part.
What?
The interest. I get PSFS interest on checking.
Oh, a now account.
Yep. I do my checking where I get the highest interest on savings. So, I think I'll take this tie, too.
Do your checking where all your money earns more money. PSFS.
We can help you make it.
Well, just after that icing call, the Flyers had the face-off, and it was dumped down the ice for another icing call, only this time the face-off will come to Lindbergh's right. That official Flyer first goal, Barber is 8, Bridgman, and they've now changed the assist to Gorenstein. You are correct. At 7:01, 1-1 the game, tied with 12:32 remaining in this first period.
Very big goal, I think, because of the last week of play for Philadelphia, Bobby, that they came right back into the chops of the Pens just a minute and 40 seconds after they had taken the lead.
That goal almost went right through Dion because it was an excellent hard wrist shot.
Boutet goes back to Carlisle. Screen shot deflected over the top of the net and played on the near side by Sinisalo to Leach. Bad pass out, kept in by Carlisle. Shot in on the net, directed short side wide by Kehoe. Up along the near side. Sinas trying to get the pass. That's Arthur dumping it up along the right wing. Cannot get out. Clark is out there now along with Leach, and they've got Lindsey Carson playing on the left wing to see if they can't get the youngster some points. Here he comes up through at center. Hooked from behind and has the puck stripped by Rick Kehoe. Plays cross ice to Carlisle, who has a man open at center ice. There he was. That was Gardner. Pass dropped back from Gardner, picked off at the flyer line, and back comes the other way Reggie Leach. Long drive, but that hits the stick of Faubert and goes way up into the end seats as we get a center ice face-off. 8:10 remaining first period, 11:50 remaining first period. 1-1, and Bobby, all the projected fireworks have failed to materialize, and the two teams are sticking to the business of good hockey.
Gene, I don't think any team is really going to go crazy until one gets a big enough lead or one starts to lose badly. This is an important game for both of them. It's a 4-point game because they're in the same division. The 2 points that you win and the 2 points you don't allow the other team to get.
Pens, after losing their home opener to the Islanders, have been very tough and have beaten quality opponents. In this building, they've beaten the North Stars 5-2, Quebec 2-1, Buffalo 3-1, and St. Louis. We're going to get another Flyer penalty. And it looks like it's going to be an interference call against Brian Propp up on the right side. And the Propper will go into the box. Total of 33 minutes on the air. The Pens with their second power play on the game's third penalty, 2 to Philadelphia, coming at 8:22.
You know, that's something the Flyers have had problems with, Gene, over the last 4 or 5 games, and that is screening off their players. And Propp was doing that. He was just screening off that winger, but in the eyes of Wally Harris, it appeared that he was doing it a little bit too vigorously. So interference was called at 8:22, but at least the Flyers now are starting to try to get back into that flow. You can't let those men go free. You can't let them go to the holes, because the player without the puck is the playmaker. If you allow him to get to the holes, they're going to hit him with that pass, and you're going to have an awful lot of trouble.
Pat Quinn said in recent months that while they worry about all the physical stuff, they've been letting go the real subtle dangers of the game, and that's the hooking and the holding and the screening and the running interference, particularly on power plays. And he said that does more damage to the flow of the game than the other business. All right, Flyers get the puck back behind the net. Clark rolls to Ben Wilson, chased by Boutet, swings out to the left side and finds an opening and sends it all the way down. Barber out there now along with Bridgman, and back is Reed Bailey with Ben Wilson. Up ice, Boutet comes with Faubert. Through on the left wing to Gardner. Very clever around the neck. Ridden off, though, by Reed Bailey. Ben Wilson looks up the middle and again gets the puck up in the air where the Pens can't make a play. It sails past the futile wave of a stick of Pittsburgh's Randy Carlisle behind the Penguin net. It's gathered in by Mario Faubert. Minute and a half remaining on the Pen advantage. 11 minutes to play first period. 1-1 the score. Carlisle through up the middle. Gardner likes to get in front. Long drive. Score by Faubert. And Kelly Lindbergh has been beaten by 2 long shots to his left. Power play goal, the 6th for Pittsburgh against Philadelphia, and they lead it 2-1.
Lindbergh, it seems, Gene, is starting to line up more on the body of the player rather than the stick. Faubert, a right-hand shot. Mark Johnson, a right-hand shot. Both of them have gone to the short side. Faubert just blasted it from the angle, but Lindbergh gave too much room on that short side, and that's where the puck found its way, and the Penguins have scored on the second power play. Faubert, for Faubert, that's goal number 3.
Gardner gets 1 assist. And Carlisle the other. Puck behind the Philadelphia net. Dug out on the near side by Barber. Tries to work his way out. Stolen by Price. Clears it again behind the Philadelphia net. Jimmy Watson on his own left wing corner is crunched by Paul Mulvey. Peter Lee in there along with Billy Barber, the Flyers, and Tommy Goranson. We get a standoff with 10:37 remaining in the first period. Pittsburgh 2 and the Flyers 1.
9:03 is the time of that power play goal. Faubert, that's his 3rd of the year. As you mentioned, Gardner and Carlisle, and Gene, this crowd is really up for this game. Every time anybody goes into the boards and gets a body check or even just rubbed out along the boards, they're yelling and screaming.
Bobby, the goal scoring percentage against the Flyers in this slump week. We mentioned the other night the opposition had scored 35 goals on some 150 shots, and now the Pens already have 2 on their only 4 tonight. Philadelphia, Clark out there taking the draw with Malone. A kick's free, a bound behind the Philadelphia net. Steve Smith out there with Arthur, and the Flyers have a line on of Carson, Leach, and Clark. And on the near side, Fred Arthur is dumped on the check by Pat Graham. as the Pens shoot it all the way up the ice in on Tully Lindbergh, who dumps it behind for Fred Arthur. Chased again on the near side by Grant. Makes a nice move to get it to Smith in the left wing corner. The young rookie from Sault Ste. Marie gets it to Lindsey Carson, who throws it away at center ice, and it's picked off by Price in his own end. Chased deep by the 3 Philadelphia wingmen. Now the Pens break out 2-on-1. Over the line, there's Malone breaking for the net. There's a shot. Excellent save on the long side by Pelle Lindbergh off that drive by Malone. As here come the Flyers again. Nice move into the neutral zone. Dumping it into the zone along the near side is that youngster Steve Smith as the Flyers make a defensive pairing change. They have Ben Wilson out with Reed Bailey. And here comes George Ferguson. He's going to challenge Ben Wilson. Long shot. And the Pens may know something, as after beating Lindbergh on 2 long drives from the right, whenever they penetrate that side, they're taking that long whipper. Puck loose in the center ice area. Wilson through, trying to find Kropp from Lynchman, but the Pens break it up and get it to Gardner at center ice. Left wings to Boutet. Gets inside. Reed Bailey gets a return pass from Gardner, but Lynchman, back checking, breaks it up, and Bo Morrison up to Kropp at center ice. 80-footer, deflected wide, into the near corner, past Dion. Morrison is checked by Russ Anderson, and Paul Gardner just slides it away to center. Reed Bailey spins away from the checking of Kehoe. Sends it up through to Morrison, and as he pivots and drives it into the Pittsburgh end, offside is Kropp. With 9:04 remaining in the first period, Pittsburgh 2 and Philadelphia Flyers 1.
A phenomenon that's puzzled me is why some people settle for the ordinary when they could have the extraordinary. Perhaps its cause is simply a lack of knowledge. Fortunately, I've never had that problem. So choosing a home videotape recorder was relatively easy. I chose the Sony Betamax, for when I observed how it performed so many complex technological functions with such ease and simplicity, I no longer saw a machine. I saw genius.
The genius of Betamax, only from Sony.
2-1, Pittsburgh leads. 9:04 remain in this first period.
Here at the Igloo in Pittsburgh, Gene Hart along with Bobby Taylor. Just outside the Pittsburgh line, Flyers have Kropp, Morrison, and Lintzman, and the Pens go with Gardner, Boutet, and Kehoe. Throwing it up ice, knocked down by the Flyers, but kept in by Pittsburgh on a deflection behind Lindbergh. Swept up to the near side and outletted through to Lintzman at center ice. Kropp on the left, Morrison the trailer on the right. Lintzman going right around Anderson into the right wing corner. Anderson falls. Lintzman in front. Dumps a pass to Kropp. Drive, and he fired it high and long on a marvelous play by Lintzman. Now the Pens come to center ice. Gardner working his way right past Reed Bailey. He's got an open man, Kehoe. There he is, but makes a bad pass. And the puck bounced, and Kehoe took a whack at it over the top of the net. Gardner gets it down on the ice. Lindbergh's in trouble as the Flyers trying to play from their own right wing corner. Lintzman then tries to take off Gardner. Boutet in there with Lintzman and then Morrison, and Boutet is grabbed by Morrison in our first display of temper.
Boutet really carries that stick high, Gene. He's always coming in there with the stick up around everybody's shoulders, and Morrison got in between him and Lintzman. Lintzman and Gardner went at it, but the reason it was a bad pass, it was an excellent defensive play by Ben Wilson. Wilson played it in the middle on that 2-on-1 situation. He forced Gardner to flip the puck up over top of him, and that allowed Kehoe not to be able to handle it. But it was a great play by Wilson on that 2-on-1.
8:18 remaining in a briskly played first period. Pens out shooting the Flyers 7-3. Philadelphia with 2 of the game's 3 penalties. And the second one to Kropp resulted in Pittsburgh's lead goal. Their 6th power play goal against Philadelphia. They're 21 overall. Puck down behind the Philadelphia net. Bridgman checking in there. Now Mulvey in there. Held off by Jimmy Watson, and we get a standoff as Bridgman now was challenged by looks of Mike Bullard, who decided against it.
Now Bridgman and Mulvey are having a few words. Cochran in there, along with Peter Lear. Everybody is milling around. You might see that happening quite often throughout the contest, Gene, because both teams seem to be really fired up for this game. Face-off will come outside the blue line because referee Harris figures that it was a puck was frozen on purpose by Mulvey.
Mulvey takes the draw away from Bridgman. Faubert circles on the right side, drills it around behind the Philadelphia net. Lindbergh sets it up, pokes it away from Bullard. Then there's a high stick on the near side of the net, going around behind Bullard. Centers in front, shot! Great save by Lindbergh off Peter Lee. There is Mulvey. He's got a man open on the left. That was Graham again and Bullard. Mulvey in that corner. Out to the point. Faubert loses it at the blue line, and all he can do is dump it into the right wing corner. taken off there by Bullard. Tries a pass, blocked by Barber. Bullard fights to keep it in. Still fights, and finally the Flyers get it up. Bridgman coming 1-on-3. Gets around Carlisle into the right wing corner. Through the goal mouth. Barber was held off by Peter Lee. Up breaks the Pens. It's Bullard coming up ice along with Mulvey. Over the line, a drive. Lindbergh the save. Rebound Lee in that right circle. It's for Lindbergh. And at his flying side, there was Mulvey all alone and couldn't tap it home. As the Flyers come up on the right side, Gorns breaking at center. Through at the pen line, lifts it in on Dion, steers off to his right. As the Flyers have up, Clark was knocked down by Malone. As the Pens, Ferguson forechecked in there by Lindsey Carson, who's out with Leach and Clark. Now we get a stoppage of play, and we're going to get 2 men off.
Now Carson's going after Pat Price. It all started with Pat Price as Clark was going into forecheck. Pulled down Clark. And now Price took a shot at Carson. Both linesmen have a hold of Lindsey Carson. Now Willard Norris has gone over to get a hold of Pat Price. But both linesmen grabbed a hold of the Flyers. Luther grabbed a hold of him. Willard Norris had a hold of Carson to begin with, and then Luther came over quickly to grab him as well, and that left Price free as he was quickly backpedaling.
While we wait to pick up what penalties Wally Harris will call on Carson and Price, we'll tell you that 6:52 remain in a brisk first period. Pittsburgh 2 and the Flyers 1.
Occupation. President of United Computer.
What are you doing, joining the Army?
It's the uniforms. I've got nothing to wear. My men's store closed.
A man of your stature belongs at Boards. They have the finest Lee Bow, Kilgore French, and stand barrel.
Yes, boy.
And Boards is how to treat a man. They got free alterations, free valet parking.
Thanks, Captain. Maybe I'll try Boyd's this afternoon.
Maybe you'll try Boards in 3 years.
Are you a man without a men's store? Come to the finest. Come to Boyd's.
No cough.
Philadelphia will have 2 men in the penalty box. Original penalties handed out by Harris were going to be to Pat Price and Bobby Clark. Then when Carson had a few words to say to Price, Price took that shot at him. Price will probably end up with a double minor at the most. But nonetheless, they'll have a 4 skaters to 3 edge, because the Flyers will have 2 men in the penalty box.
Depending upon what Wally Harris calls. Because there's a single minor up on the board to Carson, a single minor up on the board, but now they've erased the one that was showing Pat Price's penalty, so we'll just wait.
It all happened with Clark trying to forecheck in there as he took a shot at Price. This all started after he took a shot at Price from the back, and then Price retaliated. And that's when the play was called, and Wally Harris handed out the penalties then. But then it was Carson and Price at each other as they had a few words to say with each. Price right there, Arthur, everybody started to move in. Willard Norris grabbed a hold of Price. Then as they moved around, Norris grabbed a hold of Carson. And then both he and Luther, for a split second, had both Carson when Price threw the punch at Carson. Punched right at him as the referee was in between and then started to back up.
You know, tickets are on sale for all Flyer games, and you can get them by phoning. Simply, tonight, your order. The next Flyer home game is this coming Thursday at 7:30 with Hartford. Now, the number to call immediately, area code 215. Dial the word LINE, line, and the trio number 555. Now, you must have a major credit card to place your order tonight, and we'll be taking calls until the end of the game. Now, for those of you who don't have a major credit card, the Spectrum Showcase stores in the Deptford Mall and at the court, King of Prussia, will be open tomorrow from noon to 5, and the Flyer ticket office at the Spectrum opens at 9 a.m. Monday morning.
Well, Gene, here are the penalties. Pat Price will pick up a 2-minute minor for slashing, 2 minutes for roughing, and a 10-minute misconduct. Carson will pick up 2 for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct. And Bobby Clark will pick up a 2-minute minor for cross-checking. This all occurs at 13:08 of this first period.
Well, while it appears that Price took the brunt of it, it still works out to a Flyer disadvantage of 4 skaters to 3.
Sinisalo is in the box to serve that 10-minute misconduct to Carson. Garber having a few things to say to Wally Harris.
Pens will be on their third power play. They are 1 for 2 tonight. They are 6 for 16 against Philadelphia. And the Flyers, Bobby, just part of their trouble. They've now given 8 power play goals, and the last 12 times they've been short. As Faubert is out there along with Carlisle, Kehoe, and Gardner. And the Flyers have Ben Wilson, who's beaten by Faubert, tries to dump it in on the slot to the trailer. Kehoe gets it back, comes to the backside of the net. He's got a man at the point, Carlisle, and a screen in front. Short side, high and wide. And ricochets right around to pass Gardner up on the Pens' right wing side into center ice. This Pens 4 skaters to 3 edge will be for a full 2 minutes. And then when the Flyers get 2 men out, they'll have the power play in the second half of the double minor to Pat Price. Over the line comes Faubert, but offside on the far wing was Paul Gardner. 1:22 remaining on the minor penalties to Lindsey Carson, being served by Sinisalo, and the Flyers' Bobby Clark. 3:22 on the double minor. They handed out to Pat Price. 2-1. 2-1 to score Pittsburgh.
Mario Faubert has been around the Pittsburgh camp for quite a while, and he's been up and down with their minor league team and has not played a regular shift, but this season he seems to have caught on quickly.
Barber, Wilson, and Reed Bailey. Carlisle remains out with Kehoe, Faubert, and Gardner. Over the line, Kehoe goes into that right wing corner. Tries to go over Ben Wilson. Swings around to the near side. He's got Carlisle back at the left point. Off to the side, left side of Lindbergh is Gardner. Kehoe at the top of the left circle. Now working in alongside is Carlisle. There, shot. Stopped in front by the skate of Ben Wilson. And he plays it himself up along the near side. Now looks for some help. Stick handling in the neutral zone. Now he's chased by Gardner and drives it in along the left wing circle. But it clears up off the glass and ricochets into the seat. So the face-off will come at center ice. 51 seconds remaining on the Flyers' 4 skaters to 3 deficit.
Excellent play on the part of Wilson. He not only tied the Penguin up in front, not allowing him to get his stick on the puck, but he just controlled the shot, blocked it, and then just calmly and coolly skated out to center ice and killed valuable time. And one thing about the glass in this arena, though, Gene, is that if you try to use it, a lot of players will do that so that they can get a bad bounce off it, but normally they'll stay in the rink. This glass, it seems that the bad bounces always end up into the crowd.
Pens control, busting through, dumping it offensive left wing corner. Kehoe gets it away from Fred Arthur. Arthur checks him off the puck. Carlisle steals it. He's got Faubert in. Score! Faubert from the right circle.
Boy, he just ripped that shot. It was an excellent pass. He did not have to stop it, and that's the key. That pass comes off to you nice and flat. You can really tee the puck up. Carlisle just fed it out perfectly. And Faubert just moved into the top of the circle and beat Lindbergh high over the stick. Over the glove side, rather. And the Pittsburgh Penguins have picked up their second power play goal. Faubert's second of the period, and they now are up 3-1. Carlisle has picked up the second assist of the period. And Kehoe has picked up the other assist on Faubert's 4th goal of the year.
Well, the Pens now have 9 goals against Philadelphia this year, and 7 of them have come on the power play. And Bobby, just a statistic that we hate to bring up, but it's very significant in the Flyer troubles of late. That's the 9th power play goal they've given up in their last 14 disadvantages. Puck tied up by Fred Arthur along the near side, tries to come out with it. Malone keeps it in, but then Arthur with a diving play, poke checks it up the ice through into the Pittsburgh zone as the Flyers down 3-1, but they'll get Lindsey Carson back in 11 seconds and will have a power play of their own. Sinisalo set to come out of the box as Carson also has a 10-minute misconduct to serve. Anderson in his own left wing corner goes around to the far side. The penalty is over and the Flyers on their second power play 0 for 1. Back to the Lear point. Then Wilson drives it into Sinisalo. Back to Wilson. Wilson goes back to Sinisalo. Top of the right circle. Holds. Still holds. Straight away to Bilson. Now he's going to get the shot. Drive and the save to Dion, and there's nobody clearing in front on the screen or the rebound. Sinisalo gets the rebound, though, up along the near side. Tied up by Malone. Flyers trying to make sure that they don't lose the puck, and it stays in along the near side. But Malone out battles 3 of them and dumps it all the way down. Flyers now 1:22 remaining on the power play, trailing 3-1. They get it up through on the near side. Sinisalo was stopped as he tried to go by Boutet. Goes cross ice into the zone to Leach. Winds it around behind Dion. Boutet will read it on the near side. Goes up high and slashes Clark. And it goes back to Barber. A shot in on the net. Saved by Dion. Goes back to the point. Stolen away from Leach by George Ferguson and ice. And if that's not an elbow on Boutet after Clark. Play continues. Wound around behind the net. Reggie Leach has it with 50 seconds on the advantage. Up comes Philadelphia. Slowly, Wilson winds up the middle. Through on the right wing. The Sinisalo can't control. Carlisle chases in his own left wing corner. Takes down Sinisalo sitting on the puck, and we get a stoppage of play, and might be an outside face-off at center ice, since the attacking team forward caused the stoppage of play. 37 seconds remaining on the Pittsburgh penalty. 3:29 in the first period. 3-1 Pens.
Sinisalo is picking up some pretty good points for his first year in the league, and still having trouble getting used to the shorter rinks and the more physical style of play, but he's getting better and better with each game. 4 goals, 7 assists. They've now made the change. Sinisalo comes off. Ron Flockhart comes on the right wing on this 37 seconds remaining on the power play.
Ferguson out with Boutet, Carlisle with Baxter, and the Flyers have Wilson with Barber, Flockhart, Leach, and Clark. Now Flockhart along the far side dumps in. Dion will take it off to his right, looks for some help, clears it off the glass looking for Boutet, and he sails it down the ice despite Ben Wilson's effort to keep it in. Flyers have 20 seconds remaining on the power play, and they've had no shots yet in on goaltender Dion. They right wing through to Clark at center ice. Over the line, up the middle, going right through. He's got Flockhart, drive right into the breadbasket of Dion, with Ben Wilson sailing in on the right side looking for a rebound.
Pittsburgh has excellent penalty killing. They've killed 13 straight penalties coming into tonight's game. They've killed off the first Flyer power play, and they also have killed 17 straight at home. But Clark made an excellent move back to Flockhart, who got a good shot away, but Dion saw it all the way. The puck was a little bit too high. You like to try and keep it low to the ice, about maybe 10 inches above the ice or lower, or else you want to try to go real high. If you put it up around the waist, that's easy picking for a goaltender.
Flyers have to be wary now as a Pittsburgh player coming out of the box who's serving that second half of the double minor. They have 7 seconds left on the advantage. Flockhart, Leach, Clark, Arthur, and Steve Smith. Boutet will take the draw in his own left wing circle for Pittsburgh. Out there with Ferguson, Baxter, and Carlisle. Puck is dropped. Cleared by Carlisle and sent down the ice, and that'll do it. Rolls right in on Lindbergh. As Dion hung tough on that one shot. Out of the penalty box. The Pens now at full strength. As Fred Arthur up on the left side, hawked in his own zone, has to circle away from Boutet. Circles this time away from Mulvey and then throws it away at center ice. Morrison gives it back to him in the Philadelphia zone. To Steve Smith near side, chased by Malone up the middle of the ice, right onto the stick of Stackhouse, who drives it into the Flyer zone. Arthur tries to come out, fails to clear. Dumping it in toward the net on the near side was Peter Lee. Now on the near boards, we have Philadelphia's Jimmy Watson tied up on the play, but the puck slides into center ice and deep into the Pittsburgh zone with 2:10 remaining in the first period. 3-1 Penguins. Now Peter Lee, pass stolen by Lintzman, drops to Prop, back to Lintzman. He's guarded in that corner, tries to find Prop at the side of the net. Shot just trickled wide on the deflection as Morrison was screening to Dion's right. Prop takes it back to the left point, knocked down by Arthur. Drive to the net, wide of the short side. Peter Lee will pick up the carom on his own right wing side. Tries to come out with it, bumped by Lintzman. Rolls the puck off to Stackhouse, tries to outlet through on the near side to Mulvey, but ices it off the left wing boards. And Fred Arthur's there for Philadelphia for the stoppage of play. With 1:40 remaining first period, Pittsburgh 3 and the Flyers 1.
You have $1,000. Should you put it in the bank or in Delaware Cash Reserve? You figure it out. Only 5.5% savings account interest against high money market dividends credited daily. A certificate with substantial penalties for premature withdrawal or no penalty liquidity. You figure it out. Then call Collect 215-988-1333. 988-1333. Delaware Cash Reserve, the money market fund from the Delaware Group.
Gene Hart along with Bob Taylor. There's Lindsey Carson, Pat Price serving out 10-minute misconducts. Flyers and the Pens at full strength on the ice. Pittsburgh leading 3-1 thanks to a pair of power play goals that broke a 1-1 tie. Lawrence on the ice now along with Bridgman and Barber. Barber has the only Flyer goal. Colbert has a pair on the power play for Pittsburgh, and Mark Johnson. Out come the Pens. They've got Kehoe out there along with Gardner. Now Gardner gets right past Cochran, going right in on goal. Shot, save. And it was just cleared away from Kehoe. It was slid off to the other side of the net by Jimmy Watson. Barber back for the Flyers. Right corner pass is blocked away from Gorance by Carlisle. Then drifted into the Pittsburgh zone by Cochran, catching both Bridgman and Barber offside. With 1:06 remaining first period, and the Pens leading 3-1.
They're out shooting Philadelphia 13-7. And a lot of those shots are coming from long range, and they've had 3 power plays to up that total, but they've connected 2 of 3. And that's been a big thorn in the side in the first 2 games, even at Philadelphia with Pittsburgh and the Flyers. And it's carrying over here at Pittsburgh.
The Flyers have really had their first period deviltries. 6 in the first period against Montreal, 3 Buffalo, 3 Vancouver, 2 Pittsburgh, 3 Buffalo, and then we've got 3 more tonight, Pittsburgh. Puck sliding in the Philadelphia zone. After it is Watson clears it off his own left wing boards to Billy Barber and away to Bridgman. Crisscrossing with Gorance. Bridgman at the Pittsburgh line. The Pens have 3 men back. Drops. Shot. Right in front. Dion on the screen on that partially blocked shot by Cochran. Just picked it up. Swept it away from the oncoming Mel Bridgman to his left, where the Pens tie up the rebound.
That's the biggest save of the period for Dion. It was an excellent shot and drop pass. The puck was just fed back perfectly by Bridgman, and he just went to the net, and it was deflected off of either he or Stackhouse. With the rebound laying right in front, Dion quickly scooped it away, not allowing Bridgman to pounce on it. Big save for Pittsburgh. The game remains 3-1 in favor of the Penguins.
Score in Edmonton, and that young defenseman is going like mad for the Oilers.
Oilers have a 1-0 lead over Colorado. Late in the first period, Paul Coffey is the goal scorer.
Clarkson, Asalo, along with Leach, Wilson, and Reed Bailey. Offensive, a right circle draw for Philadelphia. Malone out with Ferguson and Boutet. There's Leach right on from the inside of the right circle. Dion clears, and then Carlisle gives it away to the near side. Greg Malone takes it. He's wrapped up. Leach into the Flyers' offensive right wing corner, and we get a standoff with 27 seconds remaining in the first period. And Bobby, during our first intermission, we're going to have a special on our young rookie from the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhound, Steve Smith. And then you're going to be in conversation with him in an interview you tape before the game, and then you and I will be back for analysis of that first period. Offensive right circle draw. Malone again against Clark with Leach in the trigger position. But the Pens get it at their goal line left. Sent out. But Leach intercept. Drive right in, and Dion has to erase that careless play by Carlisle. Dumps it to the net on the rebound right side off Leach, and Dion grabs for the stoppage of play. Carlisle, rather than protecting that 3-1 lead in the last half minute, was looking for a breakaway pass at center and almost gave up a goal.
Well, Gene, if you're wondering why there's so many high scores in the National League, that's why. Everybody's looking offensively. But you have to make sure of that puck. And Carlisle, the Norris Trophy winner, trying to hit that quick pass to Ferguson, put it right on Leach's stick. But Dion very coolly made that blocking pad save.
17 seconds remaining first period. Again, an offensive right circle draw. Again, Clark against Greg Malone. Linesman out there ready to drop the puck, Bob Luther. Puck is dropped, and again Carlisle has it. This time he'll make better sense of that play. Sets up behind the net. Will carry it himself past Clark up along his own left wing side with 9 seconds. Through to Malone, right wing to Ferguson at the Philadelphia line against Ben Wilson. Tied up by Wilson. The Flyers will clear it away at center, but there's not enough time as they come to the end of the first period. And 16,033 here are delighted as their Pens lead at 3-1. Faubert a pair on the power play, and Mark Johnson, Billy Barber the only Flyer goal. Philadelphia in that first period picked up 4 of the Game 7 penalties. The shots, Philadelphia 10, Pittsburgh 13. That's it. 3-1 Pittsburgh after the first period as our intermission activities continue after this. We're back here at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, and after being patient and biding his time through the Flyers' first 13 games of the year, the Detroit, Michigan-born Mo Morrison makes his debut, and we asked him his feelings on coming into this first game.
Well, it's an important game for the Flyers, and I think my job is specifically going to help get the forechecking going and pick up some of the slack that's been caused by all the injuries to Paul Holmgren, Timmy Kerr, and Al Hill. And it's a real important game for us, so I just hope everything works out okay.
Wally Harris, the referee, along with linesman Bob Luther and Will Norris. We still have Lindsey Carson and Pat Price in the penalty box. Price picked up 14 minutes, so he'll not be able to come back until some 7 minutes and 52 seconds elapse in this period. Lindsey Carson will be able to come back with about 5 minutes and 52 seconds gone in the period. But they'll skate full strength on the ice. Flyers have Gorence on the right, Barber on the left with Bridgman at center, Cochran and Jimmy Watson back. And the Pens go Ferguson, Malone, and Pat Graham. Graham on the left side, Russ Anderson, teammate of Paul Holmgren's at the University of Minnesota, another American-born, and Ron Stackhouse, wearing that plastic shield to protect an injury to his face that occurred about 2 years ago. Puck down behind the Philadelphia net. Gorence is wrapped up by Graham. Cochran tries to clear. He's tied up by Ferguson, fourth checker. Cochran goes down. The Pens 2-on-1 against Gorence in the corner just to the rear left of Lindbergh. And Gorence gets the stoppage of play after 13 seconds. Don't forget, we'll be back on the radio network next Thursday from the Spectrum against Blake Wesley, Norm Barnes, Jack McIllargy, and Rick McLeish and the rest of the Hartford Whalers. That game on Prism. And then a week from tonight at 8 against Mike Nicoluk's Maple Leafs at Toronto's Maple Leaf Gardens. Malone against Bridgman. Flyers defensive left wing circle. Cleared into the corner behind the net by Jimmy Watson and around to the right side of Lindbergh. Carams it through to Bridgman at center ice. Looks for Barber, has no pass, and rolls it into the Pittsburgh zone. Michel Dion clears but not out, and a long shot in on the net by Jimmy Watson. Rebounded off to Dion's left, and Gorence couldn't get a rebound because he was held or interference on Russ Anderson. So we have the Pens' 5th penalty of the game. 34 seconds gone in the second period. 3-1 Pittsburgh.
A phenomenon that's puzzled me is why some people settle for the ordinary when they could have the extraordinary. Perhaps its cause is simply a lack of knowledge. Fortunately, I've never had that problem. So choosing a home videotape recorder was relatively easy. I chose the Sony Betamax, but when I observed how it performed so many complex technological functions with such ease and simplicity, I no longer saw a machine. I saw genius.
The genius of Betamax, only from Sony.
It's a good shot by Jimmy Watson, and it almost handcuffed Dion, but the rebound came right out to Gorence, and Anderson tackled the Flyer player. He'll go off for holding at the 34-second mark, and as Gene mentioned, the 3rd power play opportunity for Philadelphia.
Pittsburgh has killed 15 in a row against the Flyers. They're now 4 in 14 short. The Flyers 0 for 2 on the night. Clark gets it back to Barber, who has the Flyer goal. Moves to the center of the ice, gets a drive. Dion the save, and Clark can't handle the rebound. Still loose in front, Leach shot, and Dion comes up with a big one while he's on his knees. And the puck rolled to the near side. Wilson goes around behind the net. Carlisle will dig it out, gets it up to Boutet, and he sends it down the rest of the way. Lindbergh blocks the puck off to Leach. Ferguson going in deep. Ben Wilson does a loop from his near to the far circle, drops it off to Barber, will carry into center ice with a minute and a half left on the advantage. Sinisalo, Leach, Clark, Barber, and Wilson. Sinisalo goes through, is tripped up by Boutet, but the whole play is offside.
I think Pittsburgh is doing well in this shorthanded situation, Gene. When they do have the Flyers coming down on them, they have 4 men strung out along the blue line, and they're making the play on the Flyer puck carrier before he crosses the blue line, and the Flyers, conversely, are making the play after the Penguin player crosses the blue line. So once you allow them to gain that zone, they can get set up rather easily. Pittsburgh's not allowing Philadelphia to do that.
Wilson, Barber, and a pair by Mel Bridgman are the Flyer power play getters against the Pens. Just outside the Pittsburgh line, Stackhouse goes in deep, rolls it around to Carlisle. He'll have a clear opening on the left side, but gives it away to Clark, who keeps it in along the left wing, rolls it behind the net. But all 4 Flyers are at the blue line, and that allows Carlisle free access this time to the right side. Through to Ferguson at center to Carlisle. He's going to break in and then overskates the puck as he might have had Clark turn. Sinisalo has a bad pass in traffic along the far side. Cleared by Barber through into the Pittsburgh end as the Flyers have now lost all the rhythm on this advantage. Dumped into the Philadelphia zone. Ben Wilson remains out with Barber. Now they have Prop on with Bridgman and Lintzman. Barber has trouble, but scoots past Boutet, who's out there with Ferguson, Baxter, and Faubert. Into the zone goes Lintzman, bumped and run over by Baxter as the Flyers at center ice come to the left side, the red line to Wilson. Through to Lintzman, he's in. Quick shot in on Dion, who almost let it roll through, and the puck rolled back to the point. Barber a drive, knocked down and grabbed in front by Faubert.
Flyers had what they were trying to do throughout the whole period, of the first period that is trying to get Pittsburgh running around in their own zone, and they managed to do that, but it was an excellent play on the part of Mario Faubert to cradle that shot and hold on for that face-off so he could settle down his mates in their defensive zone. 3-1, Pittsburgh leads. 17:53 remains in this second period.
How about those red-hot Bruins? They lead Quebec in Quebec 4-1, and the Bruins are leading the Adams division. Bridgman, Propp, Lintzman, Fred Arthur, and Steve Smith with 27 seconds remaining on the advantage. In that circle, Bridgman along the right wing boards to Fred Arthur up the middle. Screen shot. Oh, just trickled wide as Bridgman and Propp knocked down in front. Bridgman, offensive left wing corner. Side of the net. Lintzman tries a shot. They whack at it in front. Finally shot wide and deflected wide by Ferguson, and the Pens ice it. There'll be 5 seconds left, and the Flyers will not be able to come up ice and set up the play before. Out of the penalty box comes Anderson. So the Flyers 0 for 3, and the Pens have killed 16 in a row. Puck in on Dion. Clears it right back to Bridgman. Offensive left wing corner in front. Propp shot. That hit a skate, and then Dion kicked it off to his left, and out breaks Anderson. Right wing pass at the Flyer line to Peter Lee. Penetrates. Tries to get around Steve Smith. They both go in the Flyers' defensive left wing corner. Smith goes down, but Lintzman is back there to dig out the puck. Smith is tied up by big Paul Mulvey, breaks the puck free. Got a trailer, goes back to the point. Faubert shot, and that was kicked free off the pads and stick of Pelle Lindbergh off the right wing boards and into the Pittsburgh end. Flyers bring out Barber now, along with Mo Morrison and Flockhart. As here come the Pens up at center ice. Peter Lee at the Flyer line. Gets right past Flockhart, who slows him down enough to send in Polvey on the left wing offside. 3:19 gone in the second period. No scoring here. 3-1 Pittsburgh.
Well, Peter Lee, the last remaining man from that Montreal trade of a few years back. The Penguins sent down Rod Schutt. Lee came here in '77 with Pete Mahovlich and the rights to Peter Marsh for LaRouche. He's in his 5th year in the National League.
Flyers cleared into the Pittsburgh zone. Baxter out there with Anderson and Mulvey on now with Bullard and Lee. The Pens clearing out of their own end all the way down. It's a foot race. Then Graham is cut off, and the puck touched up by Jimmy Watson.
We've had a medical report on Mark Johnson. He was taken from the ice in the first period, and it's just a bruised ankle, and it's a possibility that Johnson could be back before this game is completed. And I think he's on the bench right now, Gene, as a matter of fact.
Cochran back with Jimmy Watson, Flockhart, Barber, and Mo Morrison. And the Pens counter with Bullard, Mulvey, and Lee. Defensively, Baxter. There's Billy Barber from the left circle. Shot deflected like a butterfly over the back of the Pittsburgh net and cleared by the Pens up ice to the Philadelphia line. Jimmy Watson retreats. Bullard goes in as the puck cleared up beautifully, and here comes a break. Morrison going right on in, shoots and doesn't get all of it as it rolls behind the net. He tried to go on the backhander, appeared to have Dion off balance, and didn't get it all. With 16 minutes to play in the second period. No scoring in the session. Flockhart, a nice move past Bullard. There's a play into the zone, but offside is Billy Barber as they crisscross. Barber went in first.
Boy, the Flyers had an excellent chance to really narrow that gap, as it was an excellent pass on the part of Barber. All he did was really deflect that outlet pass from inside their own zone. And Morrison came in and instead of taking the shot, he tried to pull it on the backhand to flip it up, and that's when it rolled off the heel of his blade of the stick. But excellent opportunity, and that's just timing, not being played for 13 games.
Clark, Leach, and Sinisalo along with Arthur and Smith. They clear it into the Pittsburgh zone. Carlisle back with Faubert, and up front they have Bullard with Malone and Ferguson. Outlet pass by Carlisle misses fire. Length to the ice. After it is Steve Smith, and we get the stoppage of play. Your first conversation at length with Steve Smith. Your reaction to the youngster?
Well, he's a real a good kid, Gene. I think he has the attitude that he wants to work really hard and improve on his game. And he was a little bit nervous, of course, and a little bit shy, just 18 years of age. But he was telling me off camera that Crispy helps him quite a bit, and he's doing an excellent job. So there's a lot of fans of Terry Crisp in the Philadelphia area, knowing that he is doing an excellent job of coaching the Sioux Greyhounds in the OHA Junior League up there.
Clark will take the draw against Malone. Flyers offensive right wing circle to our left. Again, the linesman will handle the draw, Will Norris. Puck is dropped. Goes to Leach. Can't make a play as he was challenged by Ferguson. Puck taken by Leach. Right circle drive. Short side wide, but Dion grabs with the left glove. Drops off to Carlisle, who outlets through to Bullard at center ice, but Leach deflects it to the Philadelphia defense. There's a pass stolen away by Malone from Arthur as it hit a skate at center ice. Flyers cover that play. Leach off to Smith and throw to Leach at center ice. Crisscrossing with Clark at the line. Gets in past Bullard. It is tripped up, and we're going to have another Pittsburgh penalty. It'll be Bullard going off for tripping at 4:48. 15-12 remaining in the second period. 3-1 Pittsburgh. Flyer power play coming up.
But you have to be rich to get certificates.
Mom, you shop smart, save smart. PSFS certificates pay so much more. And I got mine for just $500.
That's all?
Now you can enjoy tax-free interest with new PSFS All Savers certificates.
We can help you make it.
Call PSFS for tax-free interest up to $2,000 on a joint tax return.
My son, he's one bright boy.
We can help you make it.
Well, it was young Pat Graham that took her play-the-play defense role on the part of Reggie Leach. Leach had him flat-footed. And as Leach went around to the outside, Graham tripped him up. He'll go off for that call at 4:48. As Gene mentioned, the fourth power play opportunity for Philadelphia.
Of course, I mentioned Bullard. That's my mistake. Back to Wilson. Right point pass to Barber. Right circle of Prop is out there with Lintzman and Bridgman. Prop holds it along the boards. Comes into the side of the net to Lintzman behind. Out in front. No shot. Goes straight away to Barber. Rolling puck. Lost the shot. To Wilson. Left point. Left circle to Lintzman. Back in front. Shot. Score by Prop on a beauty. Number 10 for the Propper. Power play goal from Lintzman and Barber, and it is 3-2.
That is something that they haven't been doing very well lately, Gene, and that's moving the puck fast and crisp. This opportunity, they moved it around extremely well. And the quick shot by Prop in the slot area found Noel Penguin around him to check him. And the puck was stopped a bit by Michel Dion, but not enough of it. And the Flyers have come within one. Brian Prop, as you mentioned, is 10th, but Wilson and Lintzman moving the puck quickly to Prop, who wasted little time firing the shot in. So Lintzman and Wilson will pick up the assists on Prop's 10th goal.
They gave that other assist to Wilson. And Bobby, that's the 5th straight game and the 8th in his last 9 that Lintzman has picked up assists. He now leads the club with 16, just 3 behind the league leader, Dave Taylor of LA, with 19. Puck behind the Philadelphia net. Then Wilson is wrapped up by Peter Lee, winds it around to the far side, and it scoots past Mo Morrison and Pittsburgh's Russ Anderson deep into the pen zone. Puck almost stolen in the zone as Pittsburgh careless, but here they come back. Mulvey over the line. Long drive, and Lindbergh, who's had little to do with this period of note, deflects that out of the rink as the Flyers have outshot the Pen 7-3 and 17-16 for the game.
We had some other scores in the National League. Detroit and Montreal are scoreless after one period of play. Buffalo leads the Islanders 2-1. Hartford now leads Minnesota midway through the second, 3-0. And Boston 4-1 over Quebec after one period of play. And Edmonton still that first period score, 1-0 over Colorado.
Bobby, for Lintzman, that's his 7th point against Pittsburgh in 2 games plus a period. A goal and 6 assists. Bridgman out there along with Gorence and Barber. Cochran with Jimmy Watson. There's Lee, a shot. Didn't get it all, and Lindbergh covers on the left side and then falls on the rebound for the stoppage of play as Lee is out there along with Bullard and Mulvey. Defensively, they have Baxter and Russ Anderson.
Well, Lindbergh moved out quickly, and it looks like he has made that adjustment, Gene. They've fired about 6 or 7 short side shots at him.
There's another one right off the draw by Peter Lee, and Lindbergh equal. Left circle on the far side. It's rolled behind the Philadelphia net by Anderson. Bridgman is run into by Mulvey. Gets it around to the far side to Gorence, who lets it roll off his stick to center ice, and that outlet from Jimmy Watson. Mulvey loses the puck at the Flyer line. It rolls into the zone. Cochran goes into the near corner, careless as it was a bad angle pass, but Jimmy Watson is able to steer it away from Peter Lee, and the Flyers drive it all the way down the ice. Anderson trails in after the puck behind the Pittsburgh net, chased by Gorence. Gorence checks the puck loose, and it rolls off his stick, off the glass, and into the seats. We may have a center ice face-off. 6:15 gone in this period, Bobby, and the Flyers right back in and playing well.
Well, Russ Anderson has had an awful lot of injuries in his career. A couple of shoulders, elbows, fingers. He was out for a lot with a broken finger last year. But his main distinction, or at least what he's become known as, Gene, around the league, is that he's the husband of the former Miss America of 1977.
What was her name? Bert Parks? Flyers have Sinisalo out with Leach and Clark, Smith and Arthur. And it is Kehoe with Boutet and Gardner, Carlisle with Faubert. Offensive left circle draw. Will Norris will handle it between Clark and now Boutet as Gardner is flipped out of the circle by the linesman. 13:45 goes to Sinisalo to Leach. Shot just wide of the long side with Clark deflecting in front. And the Pens get it out to center. Boutet overskates as Arthur rolls it off to Clark, who goes at his own line, left wing to Smith. Throws it away at center ice to the Pittsburgh line where Faubert plays it loose to Gardner. Gardner along the right wing with Kehoe. Flips it in on Lindbergh. Sets it up at the side of the net for Arthur. Arthur goes around behind the net past Boutet to Leach, and Leach just gets it through Kehoe at center. He plays back to the Pittsburgh line. Stolen away by Leach from Faubert. Leach trying to go in, and Faubert covers up by doing a hook slide across that far circle to sweep the puck off Leach's stick. Flyers forechecking, and the Pens getting careless. Outlet pass looking for Kehoe at center. He has Gardner with him. Through on the near side. Gardner breaks into the zone. Can't find the handle. Then flips it in on the net, and the Flyers pick it off. Arthur's driven in the boards on the near side by Kehoe, and we get a stoppage of play adjacent to the Flyers' defensive left wing circle. 7:06 gone, second period. Propp's power play goal has brought the Flyers back within one at 3-2.
Gee, you know, the poise of that young man back there, Fred Arthur, has really been amazing to me throughout this first part of the season. For a young player, just 20 years old, and you know, his first year in the National Hockey League, he plays there like he's been a veteran of about 4 or 5 seasons. Always seems to get a piece of the man. He doesn't really shatter your bones with body checks, but he always gets a piece of him. He always plays the man. He always gets in front of him, and he plays a pretty sound positional game in the Flyers' defensive zone.
Flyers win the draws. They have prop out with Morrison and Lintzman, Reed Bailey and Ben Wilson. The puck cleared to center ice. Pops through to Lintzman on the right wing. He's hooked from behind. He's trying to slide the puck to the net. And Wally Harris late trailing that play. Behind the Pittsburgh net, 2 Flyers, 2 Penguins, and laying off the pack is Prop waiting for it to break free, but it doesn't. And we get an offensive right circle face-off as the last man out of the penalty box now, Pat Price, after serving 14 minutes in penalties, comes to the Pittsburgh bench on the near side.
You tell players, or you talk to them, and after they've had to sit in the penalty box for a length of time, they really start to stiffen up, and it takes them a couple of shifts to get back into the flow of the game.
Lintzman, Prop, Morrison, along with Wilson and Reed Bailey. The Pens have Ferguson along with Graham. There it goes to Morrison. He shot wide and high from the right circle. He's got a good wrister. And the rebound by Stackhouse through at center ice. Blocked off at the Philadelphia line along the near wing by Wilson. Gives it away to Stackhouse, who sends it up through to Malone. Over the line along the near wing. Nice quick check by Ben Wilson. Breaks it free. Then Ferguson goes in, but Lindbergh clears, but not out. Shot in on the net. Looking for Graham. Is deflected wide behind the net, where it's dug out and sent up along the near side. Kept in by Stackhouse. Right corner pass to Malone. Stolen away by Lintzman. Breaks out 3-on-3. He's got Morrison on his right, Prop on his left. Over the line, drops to Prop. In front to Morrison, and it's wide as he was well protected by Graham. Back to the point. Arthur winds it behind the net. Lintzman is there. Shovels it back to the left point to Wilson. Gets a return pass behind the net. Tries to deflect it in front. Bad angle. Taken off by Malone. He'll come out along the right wing. Taken away by Wilson at the Pittsburgh line. Slides it into the zone, and the Pens come out quickly. Anderson sliding it from the center ice side of the red line into the Philadelphia zone as the Pens bring out Price and Braxter, and they have Mulvey on now along with Bullard and Peter Lee. The Flyers still have Lintzman. Now Barber out there as boom. Lintzman runs on his man on the far side. Bullard, as the puck is shot out of the rink, we get a stoppage of play, and right now Paul Mulvey is looking daggers at Reed Bailey. We have 11:25 remaining second period. Pittsburgh 3 and the Flyers 2.
There is nothing like a frosty, cold glass of beer when you're thirsty. But what about those times when you have a thirst for more than one beer? That's what Schaefer beer is all about. Schaefer, smooth and satisfying, beer after beer.
Schaefer is the one beer to have. One beer to have. When you're having more than one.
Here at the Civic Arena, Gene Hart with Bobby Taylor. 3-2 Pittsburgh play on in the second period. Pittsburgh attacking and forechecking the Flyer zone, but Philadelphia's Cochran gets at the center out there with Jimmy Watson, and the Flyer line has Bridgman on with Barber and Gorin. Puck rolled in the Philadelphia zone. Out there is Bullard along with Mulvey and Peter Lee, but the Flyers dig it out again and send it through to Gorance, racing at center ice, 1-on-2. Over the line, tries to get inside Baxter. He can't. The puck taken by Bridgman. Left wing corner in on the net, but Barber was on the backside of Dion, who grabbed that one for the stoppage of play.
Gene, the Flyers are coming out of their own zone a little easier here in the second period. The first period, the gap between the defensemen and the forwards was really great. The forwards were way high up over the blue line almost, so they had nobody to really hit the pass to. This time they're coming in deeper. Gorance came in really deep in along the top of the circle, broke up through the middle. He was hit perfectly by Bridgman.
Puck cleared by Barber behind the net. Bridgman in there along with Baxter. Gorance in front now goes behind along with Pittsburgh's Bullard. Bridgman kicks the puck free. He's pulled down by Baxter, and a shot in on the net from an impossible angle by Gorance, steered to the near side by Dion, and sent into center ice where Gorance taps it back into the Pittsburgh zone. We'll have a delay offside unless they come out cleanly, and they do along the near wing. Lee booked hard by the Flyers, and then Barber, and as Gorance tried to dump it in, hit a Pittsburgh player, and it ricochets to Pat Price. Up the middle, breakaway, going right on in is Bullard. Shot! Lindbergh the save, and a dandy to take the Flyers in it. And back comes Clark at center ice. 1-on-2 at the Pittsburgh line. Play broken up by Price, and Mulvey turns back with Gardner. Clark steals it away at center. He's got Leach through along with Lindsey Carson. Nice play by Baxter to knock Leach off the puck. Shot in on the net to Clark. He can't get it. Now Carson is tied up. Puck goes behind the Pittsburgh net. Clark has got Carson in front. Hits him in the skate. And Paul Gardner with a rebound comes to center as Lindsey Carson pulls him down. A Flyer penalty. But Peter Lee holds the puck at center ice till they get the goaltender to the bench. Now it's flipped in and over the top of the glass behind the Flyer net. Lindsey Carson's going off. Pittsburgh power play coming up. 9:42 remaining second period, and the Pens lead it 3-2.
Isn't everyone excited about McDonald's You Deserve a Break Today game? Yes! Yes! Don't you love those big prizes? Yes! 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 All that cash? Yes! 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 All those trips? Yes! Yes! Shouldn't everyone play?
Flyers were putting excellent pressure on Pittsburgh, but with Gardner grabbing that puck and pulling it out of the zone, Carson hooked him to the ice. 10:18 is the time of the penalty.
Pens are 2 for 3 on the power play, and this is where the Flyers have to toughen up. Carlisle, as you might expect, back with Faubert, and up front the usual three of Boutet with Gardner and Kehoe. Flyers go Gorance with Clark, right past Reed Bailey. In front, they've got Gardner back to the left point. Played by Carlisle around behind the net to the waiting wing in the right wing corner, Boutet, but he can't handle it. And it's played 2-on-1 by Ben Wilson to Clark. He's got Gorance in front. Pass blocked by Randy Carlisle. When it appeared, Gorance had a shorthanded breakaway. Now up ice come the Pens. They try to go headman to Kehoe. Foolish pass in there, and they try to go from one side to the other, and the Flyers intercepted and iced.
Gene, Ben Wilson is playing so strong when the Flyers have been a man short. He's intercepted a lot of clearing passes by Pittsburgh, rather.
Steve Smith out there with Arthur. Here comes Carlisle over the line. Left wing pass to Kehoe. Kehoe is there in front, and it was tipped behind by Gardner. Gardner behind the net. Boutet in the right wing corner has the puck. In the circle, behind the net. Gardner in front for a stuffer. Save, rebound at the side of the net. Picked off by Boutet of the Penguins. He wants to go back into the left point, but Barber won't let him into the corner. Kehoe has got Gardner and Boutet in front. There's his shot. Rebound. They poke at it in front. It's close. Played by Faubert. It's blocked. Flyers try to clear. Steve Smith and back behind the net to Boutet of Pittsburgh. Back to the Faubert. A drive wide of the net to the left point. Carlisle at the top of the left circle. Puts it in the slot. Picked off by Bridgman and ice. Marvelous action. Great offensive gesture and great defensive reply.
Also some pretty sound goaltending by Pelle Lindbergh in tight.
20 seconds remaining on the Penn advantage. 8 minutes remaining, second period in a dandy. 3-2 Pittsburgh. Carlisle quickly up through at center. Left wing penetrating is Malone. Spins away from Arthur. Tries to get in. Arthur takes the puck away to Lintzman. He'll come with Propp. 2-on-2 against Carlisle and Baxter. Propp through on the near side. Lintzman into the zone. He's got Arthur behind the defense. Tries to dump it in front. The penalty is over. It rolls off the stick. Here comes Pittsburgh up ice. That's Malone coming along the near side with Bullard, but the puck rolls in on Lindbergh, who squares off to his own right wing circle and into the seat. Marvelous up and down action. Penalty box is empty. 7:29 remaining in the second period. Pens lead 3-2. Faubert a pair of power play goals, and Mark Johnson all in the first period for Pittsburgh. Billy Barber in the first, Prop on the power play in the second for the Flyers.
Lindbergh seems to be a lot more poised in the goal here in the second period, Gene. He had those 2 short side goals scored on him in the first, but he has made some super saves, especially in that shorthanded situation that kept this game at 3-2 in favor of Pittsburgh.
Lintzman, Morrison, and Prop along with Cochran and Jimmy Watson. Out there is Graham with Ferguson, centered by Malone, and at the point, Price with Baxter. Flyers try to control that puck, and Morrison gets it away from Ferguson at center ice, rolls it at the Pittsburgh line. It's cleared, though, by Price, right side to Baxter. Up over the red line, tries to dump it in. Hits the Flyer defenseman Cochran in the breadbasket, and Glenn drops it at his feet, shoots back to the Pittsburgh line. Pence cap back the other way, and into the zone. Offside was Ferguson. He was behind Prop and Watson, but the deflected pass sent him in offside.
Well, George Ferguson is that versatile player that coaches like to have on their team. He can play either center or wing. And he was one of the many Toronto Maple Leafs coming over here to Pittsburgh. Is in his 9th year, and he has that good speed.
That was not a dandy trade for the Leafs. They sent Carlisle here with Ferguson for defenseman
Dave
Burrows. And eventually Burrows wound up back here in Pittsburgh before he retired. Now Prop takes the puck away as Pittsburgh's jester comes aboarding. Flips it into the pen zone. It ricochets to Dion's right. Plays it into the near corner, but Prop in there with Ferguson. They jam one another up. Try to control the puck into the zone near side, and Baxter will roll it around to his own left wing corner. In there is Price along with Graham, but the Flyers get it as the play was put into the corner. Lintzman tries to center. Baxter picks it off, outlets to the near point. Ferguson can't control, and it's wound by Jimmy Watson around behind the net again to that far Flyer right wing corner. Morrison in there along with Pittsburgh's Graham, and we get a stoppage of play with 6:35 remaining. An offensive right circle face-off for Philadelphia here in the second period, with the Pens leading 3-2, but the Flyers' best performance since they beat Quebec on a Sunday at Philadelphia.
Gary Morrison's also having a pretty strong game, Gene, after his sitting out for the first 13.
By the way, if you're wondering about the Flyers' next home game, the next two, next Thursday against Hartford, and a week from tomorrow, that's the 15th of November with the Islanders. And we'll tell you how you can get tickets for those 2 games or any of the future Flyer home games tonight. We'll tell you the next stoppage of play. Barber with Bridgman and Gorance, along with Reed Bailey and Ben Wilson, offensive right circle faceoff. Bullard out there along with Lee and Mulvey. Carlisle with Stackhouse. Puck is dropped. Goes to the far side. Gorance's shot and got under it and fired it over the top of the net. Excellent percentage shot. Puck cleared around by the Pens all the way down the ice, and we'll have an icing, and we'll give you a chance to find out how to buy Flyer tickets. Well, we have operators on duty right now, and the number to call, 215 area code, and then you dial the word LINE, and the 3 numbers 555. Now, you have to have a major credit card to place your order tonight, and they'll be taking orders until the end of the game. Now, if you don't have a major credit card and you live either side of the river, well, I guess you have to live on one side or the other, the Spectrum Showcase stores, either in the Deptford Mall or at the Court at King of Prussia, will be open tomorrow. That's Sunday from noon to 5, with the Flyers ticket office at the Spectrum opening Monday morning at 9. Bridgman will take the draw again against Mike Bullard. And I think they're both dumped out, and it'll be Billy Barber now. No loss in efficiency there for Philadelphia, as it will be Randy Carlisle or Paul Mulvey. Again, Gorance in the inner portion of that right circle looking for the trigger. Goes to Bridgman, back to the point. Rolled around behind the net by Reed Bailey, but the only person there to collect it is Carlisle. Wraps it up through Mulvey again. Then it rolls into the Philadelphia zone, gathered in by Reed Bailey. Bailey challenge, gets it up ice. Barber can't touch it. He was on the offensive side of center. Now the Pens try to come into the zone. Play broken up by Bridgman, who taps it in the corner, around behind the net. It's picked up by Pittsburgh's Bullard to the point. Stackhouse, a screen shot. And Lindbergh got that one with Mulvey in front, occupied by Ben Wilson. Outlet pass, skips off Billy Barber's stick, and Lee back for Pittsburgh. Top of the right circle. Tied up in there beautifully by Ben Wilson, who's been dazzling tonight. And the puck cleared away to the far side, where it's gathered in by Reed Bailey and slides it into center ice, taken off by Carlisle, and he wraps it right back in the corner to the right of Philadelphia's fellow Lindbergh. There's Ben Wilson, and Ben stops all of that back and forth by lifting it out of the rink. Defensive right circle face-off in the Flyers zone with 5:32 remaining, second period. Pittsburgh 3, the Flyers 2.
The highest mileage car in America comes with front-wheel drive, a reliable, easy-starting diesel engine, comfortable adjustable seats, and a nice, roomy interior. The Rabbit Diesel is the highest mileage car in America, but the best thing about the highest mileage car in America is it's made by Volkswagen.
3-2, Pittsburgh leads. 5:27 remains in this second period.
Gardner, Boutet, and Kehoe as the puck from the Flyers' right wing circle rolls to the near corner. Steve Smith is tripped up. It gets the puck to Clark and through to Leach at center ice, but he's by himself at the Penguin line. Gets inside Baxter. In front of backhander, hit the side of the net, and Leach tried to poke in the rebound. Clark gets it behind the net to Sinisalo. He's got Leach in front. Beautiful block of a pass by Price to the point. Arthur is shot. And it's covered by Dion. Leach tried an off-angle and off-balance shot from the right side. Didn't get very far. As Clark ties up Price, Leach tries to shove it in the slot to Sinisalo. Dumps it toward the net. Leach a half stride later and is taken behind the net by Price. Wraps it up on his left wing side, and here comes Boutet out with Gardner and Kehoe on the near wing. Dump offensive right wing corner, looking for that Karen pass to Kehoe. A shot right in off the top of the right shoulder of goaltender Lindbergh. As that play almost worked to perfection. As the Pens at center ice, Gardner waits for Kehoe to clear. Now they go into Boutet. Offensive left wing corner. Steve Smith goes after in front. And there was Kehoe, but Lindbergh got that old stick out like a rapier to knock it free with Leach trying to clear out, but gives away to Carlisle at the point. Dangerous shot. Score! With Gardner in front. Gardner got a pace of it, and a bad giveaway by the Flyers, and the Pens open up a 2-goal lead again.
It was a bad giveaway. Leach had control of the puck behind the net and just shot it blindly out along the boards, but he put it right on Randy Carlisle's stick, and Carlisle's long shot from the point was tipped in by Paul Gardner right in front. Gardner is a master at doing that. The shot came right out. He had all the time, and all Gardner did was move in, deflected through the pads of Pelle Lindbergh, and for Gardner, he picks up goal number 8. Carlisle will pick up the lone assist.
That's the third assist tonight for Carlisle. And on the season, last year's Norris Trophy winner has 16. Here comes Lintzman in against the defenseman Carlisle. Drops back to the left point. Watson, open shot. And that was tipped by Malone's stick and almost caught the far corner, but then went off the glass and into the end seats.
That's been a key. You can't give that puck away, especially when you have complete control of it. Flyers weren't being rushed behind the net, and that pass was that clearing play by Leach was not a very hard one. If you're going to fire that puck out, you got to make sure you get a lot of it on there. But it was a perfect pass to Carlisle, and then a good shot. And on the other hand, Jimmy Watson had a shot, hit Malone, and almost found that top corner behind Dion.
Lintzman, Propp, and Morrison along with Jimmy Watson, who gets it back at the point. Has no shot, takes it in deep in the left wing corner. Tries to throw it around behind the net, does to Morrison. Swings in front. Pass blocked by Dion. Almost caught the short side on that deflection. But the Pens get it off to Graham in his own left wing corner, tied up by Glenn Cochran. The puck behind the net. Lintzman in there battling for it. But it's taken right away by Greg Malone. He'll carry up along the right wing into center ice. Gets right past Propp. Far wing pass to Graham. Got a man in front. Comes around and dumps it off the side of the Philadelphia net. As he's hit hard by Cochran, Lindbergh blocks the puck and hangs on for the stoppage of play. 3:38 remaining, second period, as they are a little testy at center ice. We'll remind you the score, the Pens 4 and the Flyers 2.
Upsetting, tough running. Will college football continue topsy-turvy each week for the nation's #1 team?
As Brickman was screening in front. Now the puck taken by the Pens, trying to work out to Peter Lee on the near side. Gets past Barber and slides it to center ice, where it's gathered in by Bullard, who's whacked on the top of the head by Gorence. Another Flyer penalty. Baxter going right on in, shot, and short side high save by Lindbergh. As Baxter got right around Wilson and went in on Reed Bailey. And the penalty is called a high stick against Gorence. 16:52, the time of the Flyers' 7th penalty of 13 whistled by Wally Harris. Pittsburgh 2 for 4 on the power play, gets another pop.
16:54, the time of Gorence trying to hold back Bullard. Bullard made that spin, and Gorence tried to hooked him right around the face. And that'll be a 2-minute minor for high sticking. As you mentioned, Dean, it's the 5th power play for Pittsburgh, their 2nd of this period.
For Gorance on the air, that gives him his 3rd and 4th penalty minutes. And the penalty is 16:54.
Shots on goal, Pittsburgh has 24 to the Flyers 21 in the total. Flyers had 11 this period. Pittsburgh's had 9. 4-2 the score. Pittsburgh in the lead.
Barber and Bridgman, the penalty killers, with Bailey and Wilson, and it is Gardner who just got that lead goal for Pittsburgh, or that insurance goal, as they lead 4-2 with Boutet and Kehoe. And Carlisle, who has had now 6 assists in 2.5 games against Philadelphia, is there with Faubert. Carlisle back at the left point. He's in. There's a screen shot, and Lindbergh got that one all the way.
That's what you have to do. If that shot's coming from the point, you got to make sure that those wingers that are out there do not go to that and penetrate to that pit area or in front of that goaltender. Boutet was coming in. Bailey kept him away from it, allowing Lindbergh to see the shot all the way.
The other drawback of this penalty, with you're down by 2, Flyers now have to kill 2 of the last 3 remaining minutes in this period, taking away a lot of their opportunity to get within 1 with their offense. Gardner again against Bridgman. Puck kicked off, taken by the Pens. Boutet, offensive left wing corner. Got Kehoe in that corner, goes behind the net. Gardner right off to the side of the net. And nobody's giving him a bump. Now Boutet picks the puck up to Gardner. Kehoe, he's got Carlisle at the left circle, but holds on to the puck. Now winds it around to the right point. Faubert just barely keeps it in. Challenged by Barber, who blocks it. Wilson will take it and come out with Bridgman. One-on-one with Carlisle. Over the line, Carlisle makes Bridgman swing way wide to the right. Takes the puck around behind the net, knocks off Bridgman, and makes the play out himself. Excellent defensive play by Randy Carlisle. 2:25 remaining, 2nd period, 1:17 on the penalty to Gorance. Pittsburgh on the power play leading 4-2, and as they penetrate the Flyer line, they're offside.
Now, Paul Gardner is a pretty good puck handler, Gene. He has almost looks like he's going to fall down every time he makes that move, but it's an awkward style, but it's very effective. He is pretty tricky and is excellent with that puck, especially on the power play. Carlisle really exhibited why he was voted the Norris Trophy defenseman, not only for his offensive abilities, but he really cut off the ice for Bridgman to go to, forcing him to go to the boards, into the corner, and eventually took him off the puck and carried out and made that rush up the ice.
Bridgman, who has 7 goals, 5 assists in just the 9 games he's played. Flyers get it up to Clark, rolls off the Leach on the offside. He'll go against Faubert. Over the line, tries to go up the middle, does, shot! And just fired wide. Clark with a rebound, fires it behind the net. As he beat Faubert and then tried an angle shot as he was moving across Dion's sight line from the goaler's right to his left. 54 seconds on the Penn advantage. Through at the Flyer line. Gardner tries to go left wing. Carlisle in. Short side shot is wide and high as Leach tries to scoop it out, but Faubert at the point. Drive in on the net, and he kicks it away, through it in the near corner past Gardner. He's wrapped up by Steve Smith. Leach can't get out as they've got Boutet in the corner to Faubert looking for his 3rd goal, but goes Carlisle instead. Shot, score!
Well, the power play has really been red hot for Pittsburgh against Philadelphia. Their 3rd of the game gives them 3 for 5 on that power play. They moved it around very well, but this time the shot came to the short side gate. Boutet knocked Lindbergh out of the play. I don't think he picked the puck up until the last moment. As Arthur was there, the player right alone in front. And by the time he saw the shot, it was too late. It was in the short side. It's 5-2 Pittsburgh on their 3rd power play goal.
Flyers now, Bobby, have given up 10 power play goals in the last 15 times they've been short. Very difficult for any offense to overcome that kind of statistic. Now they get a break as Malone breaks out of the Flyers zone, out of his own zone into the Flyers end, trying to cut around in front. Tied up by Prop, gets the rebound. Offensive left wing corner, tries to throw it to the blue line. Baxter does a yeoman job of keeping it in, winding it around behind the Philadelphia net. Played loose. Trying to get it was Ben Wilson or Reed Bailey, but the Pens tied up behind the net. In there is Graham along with Malone. The Flyers, Reed Bailey with Lynchman. We get a stoppage of play, and the Pens have opened a 3-goal lead at 5-2. They now, Bobby, against the Flyers, have 8 power play goals in 19 shorts in 2 games plus 2 periods.
Well, that was Carlisle's 4th goal of the season. Faubert and Boutet pick up the assists at 18:43. 5-2 Pittsburgh leads Philadelphia. We have 1:08 remaining in the second period.
Flyers played an excellent second period, got within one, held the Pens away, and then bing, bing, the power play by Carlisle, and then the earlier goal by Gardner on the tip on a Leach giveaway. So they've made 2 mistakes, and it's cost them from a 1-goal deficit to 3, as the Pens have come on with a late charge in the second half of this period, as they've now picked up 14 shots to the Flyers' 11.
Boy, when you can make a team pay for the penalties that they take, it really puts a feather in your cap. Not only does it add to the scoreboard, but what it does, Gene, is it takes away from the other team's aggressiveness, and they start to not go after the puck possibly as hard as they might, or they don't want to take the body as hard as they might because they're afraid of taking that penalty. And if they do take that penalty, they know that they're going to have a very tough time of killing it off. 54 seconds remain. 5-2 Pittsburgh in the lead.
Flyers have Bridgman along with Gorence and Barber. Puck at the point. Ferguson to the point. There goes Price. No shot, back to Ferguson in the offensive left wing corner. Fights off Coughlin's check. Top of the left circle. In front, and Boutet cut from that slot. Lindbergh made the save off to his right with 40 seconds remaining in the period. 5-2 Pittsburgh. Remember, they haven't beaten the Flyers since March of '79. They've lost 9 in a row and have been winless in their last 10. Boutet dumps it in front on a drive into the offensive left wing corner, but Watson takes it off and leads a 4-man rush for Philadelphia with Barber. Lifts it into the offensive left corner. Barber slowed down by Baxter as Dion winds it around to Boutet on the far side. Hit hard by Bridgman. Barber in there along with Pittsburgh's Pat Price. We get an offensive right circle faceoff for Philadelphia with 16 seconds remaining in the second period, and Pittsburgh is opened a 5-2 lead.
And the crowd here is really enjoying it, Gene. They're not saying let's go Flyers, they're saying so long Flyers, and mimicking the Spectrum crowd.
Well, they're hungry for a win. The last 20 games against Philadelphia, Bobby, the Flyers are, or the Pittsburgh is 1 win, 17 losses, and 2 ties. Out there is Clark along with Sinisalo, Leach, Smith, and Fred Arthur, and it's Malone with Boutet and Ferguson, as this appears to be the best checking trio for Eddie Johnstone, as he had them on the late first period, late second period. Clark against Malone, offensive right circle draw for Philadelphia, and I think Malone's been ducked out of the circle, and Boutet will take the draw. All set again, 16 seconds. Pens get the draw. Price. Right side to Baxter. He's got a man breaking at center. Ferguson 2-on-1 with Malone. Over the line. Going right on in. Pass. And it was deflected by Arthur. And if that hadn't got in, we'd have had all by himself to the side of the net, Ferguson.
Boy, he almost made the mistake, Arthur, though, by going down, because Ferguson played it perfectly. He faked the pass, and then that's when Arthur committed himself, and he was trying to go wide on him. But Arthur, all 6'5" of him, was able to get that stick back there to knock that pass down and pump it into his goaltender Lindbergh. But great, excellent recovery on the part of Arthur.
4 seconds left. Trigger man is Ferguson at the top of the offensive right circle, about 5 feet in the inner curve of that circle. And Pittsburgh will have a couple of men in the slot. Pat Price along with Faubert to screen Arthur and Leach from getting out, or Bridgman. Now they put Boutet there along with Ferguson. So Malone has to get it back to Faubert for the shot. Clark will try to draw it into his own left wing corner, and that will kill the period. Flyers trailing 5-2. Major play. Puck is at the circle. Flyers take it, and that'll do it as they clear off the near boards. As the second period comes to an end, and the first half of that period belonged to the Flyers, they cut the Pens lead 3-2. Then Bing, Bing, Gardner, and Carlisle within 3 minutes, 5-2 Pittsburgh. They outshot the Flyers 16-11 in the second period, 29-21 for the game. The penalties were even at 2 apiece in that second period, and the Flyers have 7 of the game's 13. Now, coming up during this intermission, we're going to have on the TV side highlights of the Flyer Ranger game of this past Thursday. Then we'll have on both sides an interview with Greg Shepard, as conducted live by Bobby Taylor. And then the Chief and I will be back near the end of the intermission for the analysis. There we are at the end of 2 periods of play. It's Pittsburgh 5 and the Flyers 2 as our intermission activities continue after this.
breakfast is ready at McDonald's.
You deserve a break today at McDonald's.
This commercial is not like any other Schaefer commercial. When we talk about Schaefer, we talk mostly about the second glass and the third. How the second one gives you flavor that doesn't fade, and how the third comes up just as bright, just as rewarding. But just this once, we decided to create a special tribute to that first cold Schaefer, the one you have when you're hot and thirsty, and you're really looking forward to that first glass, bright and cold and gleaming. After all, it's the first cold Schaefer that sets the standard that all the others have to live up to.
Schaefer is the one beer to have. One beer to have. When you're having more than one.
Looks like you'll need a new bike, Laurie.
Switch your checking to a PSFS Now account because the bank that pays more on savings will pay interest on Now accounts, so all your money can earn more money.
We can help you make it.
Do all your regular banking at PSFS and earn more money on all your money.
We can help you make it.
Switch to PSFS.
We can help you make it.
The Rangers were without goalies Baker and Davidson, the two Maloneys, the two Swedes, and three others. Steve Weeks was minding the twine against Rick St. Croix of the Flyers. Philadelphia was without Bathe, Daly, Kerr, and Holmgren. But among the healthy Rangers were Ron Duguay, who fed to another healthy one, Nick Fotiu, who found Mikko Leninen with a superb centering pass for a 1-0 Ranger lead at 5:14. Flyer Ken Lintzman moved toward the Ranger goal, but when he couldn't get it past Weeks out of the right of your screen, hurdled Mel Bridgman to stoke it by, tied with 6:35 to go in the first. Ron Duguay was about to put on a scoring show. He entered the contest with 6 goals on the season, but thanks to this bank play off the glass by Dave Silk, Duguay had 7. The Rangers had the lead at 14-19. 90 seconds later, the drive tipped by Bill Barber into the penthouse. Duguay with his second goal, 3-1 Rangers. Ever the opportunist out in front. At 3:22 of the second, Duguay with his 4th career hat trick. Reijo Ruotsalainen's quick steal and pass was right on the money to Mike Allison, whose shot squibbed over the goal line. Typical of Flyer fortune in the past 10 days. In the third period, with the score 5-1 Rangers, ever pesky Eddie Johnstone converted the Rangers' third power play goal of the night at 10:42. It was 6-1. Then with less than 2 minutes to go in the game, Ilka Sinisato set up Reggie Leach for his steaming 12th goal of the season. The Rangers entered this contest with a record over their past 5 games of 1-4. They made it 2-4, winning 6-2. The Flyers' record over their past 5 games, by virtue of this contest, 1-4. They're trying to change that tonight in Pittsburgh. Mike Emmerich reporting. Our intermission activities continue in a moment.
You know, I'm really a nice, easygoing guy. Like you, I enjoy a little peace and quiet. But sometimes it doesn't work out that way. So it's good I've got my Captain Black. It's always cool smoking, it never bites me, and you never have to inhale. So if you're not getting all the peace and quiet you want, hey, relax and enjoy a pipe full of Captain Black. Never a bite in a bowl.
The price of gas today, this monster's eating me right out of house and home.
Today's gas prices don't bother me a bit, thanks to my Datsun 210. It gives us safe, reliable transportation with a fuel economy I never thought possible. It's really saving us a bundle. Since our Datsun's always on a diet, our family's eating better than ever.
Datsun 210s, saving America's fuel, saving Americans money. They're at your all-American Datsun dealers now.
Who says you can't afford genuine leather shoes? Well, right now at Father & Son at Endicott Johnson, you can buy 2 pair of leather shoes for only $39.90. That's right, $39.90. And these leather shoes feature cushion insoles and lifetime soles and heels that will outwear the uppers or we'll replace them free. At these prices, you'll want several pair of these genuine leather shoes with lifetime soles and heels. On sale at Father & Son and Endicott Johnson today.
After 2 periods of play here in Pittsburgh, Penguins lead the Flyers 5-2. Let's take time now to pause for station identification.
This is WTAF, TV 29 in Philadelphia.
Bobby Taylor and Gene Hart back here at Pittsburgh. 5-2 the score after 2 periods of play. And my guest, Craig Shepard. And Craig, just before we went on, you and I were talking about the potency of that power play for Pittsburgh, especially against Philadelphia. And you were saying that you really work on it.
Well, the players are really moving the puck extremely well, especially tonight. But they work on it after every practice. The power play does stay out there by themselves, and occasionally the penalty killers go out there and try to give a little bit of a defense. But they work on it every day, and I think you're seeing the results tonight.
Big difference in the Penguin team over the last couple of years is that they've become a lot more physical.
Yeah, we've acquired a few players that have definitely fit into our EJ's type of system where we play a little bit more physical hockey. But at the same time, I think he installed a system and he gave each player a lot of confidence, and I think that's a result of us being successful or more successful than we have been in the past.
I know he said that one of the reasons or one of the problems he had was that there was nobody to call up if some player was going bad. But now with the farm team in Erie, it seems like you have a lot more players in your organization.
Well, it was certainly nice to see it. It reminded me of the days when I was in Boston when we went to training camp this year. I remember training camps in Boston. We had 80 or 100 players there, and this year we had over 60 players in Erie. And it's showing tonight where we do have a little bit more depth. We're not afraid to go to the farm system and replace a player now, whereas before, if somebody got hurt, you looked around and there was nobody else to fill in. You went with minus a player.
The rivalry, of course, they've really built it up here in the papers about the penalty field game in Philadelphia. But tonight, not really a big surprise, because mostly when you have a big, tough game like that and you come in, you expect the same thing. Nothing really like that happens.
That has been the past history, or at least I've been associated that way, where we're a team that you've played physical against and had a lot of penalties. The next game seems to be more closer checking, but at the same time, it's not as many penalties. Tonight, you're seeing that. It's close checking tonight. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, there is flurries around there, and especially offensive flurries.
Got to be really hungry for the Penguin players to pick up a victory against Philadelphia, where they've been few and far between lately.
Well, that's true, too. We were reminded that we haven't beat Philadelphia in 9 games, and tonight's game is not over by 20 minutes yet. But we're looking forward to that first victory against Philadelphia, and it'll definitely give us a lot of confidence.
You've been here now for about 3 years or 4 years, and you've seen the style change. Pittsburgh, of course, was always a high-scoring team throughout their history, but they seem to like to win games 9-8 rather than win the 3-2 games. EJ really concentrated on the defensive end of the game?
Well, that has been one of his goals, is our end, and we feel that we've improved in it. At the same time, I think that we're playing positional hockey a lot better, and not only in our own end, but in the opposing team's end, where rather than have 3 players up, we have 2 guys in, and we always have 1 guy ready to come back and help the defense. And that's definitely showed on the stat sheets there, where we've reduced our goals against.
Lost Greg Millen, and I guess you kind of thought over the summer that, boy, how are we going to replace him? But Dion seems to be doing a very good job.
He's done an excellent job for us, and I think that's one of our biggest surprises this year is the ability of Michel Dion, and he's certainly turned our penalty killing around. I know we have a lot of confidence in him that he can make the initial save as long as we're there to clear the rebound. We do have a lot of confidence in Mike.
Well, Greg, I want to thank you for being our guest.
Thank you, Bobby.
Our guest, Craig Shepard. We'll be back with more, but first, these words.
Give me a mountain and nothing to do. Give me the sunshine, give me your dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and smooth, refreshing mountain dew. Yeah, give me a river, give me a dew. Give me my good friends, give me your dew. Give me the sunshine, give me your dew.
Hurry up, Naomi.
Sit down. They're
You can take great home movies in a Magic Kingdom, and it's easy with Eastern Super 7 vacations to Walt Disney World. One low price gives you 7 magic nights, including discount airfare, quality hotel, car, and more. Give your family a magical experience. Take a Super 7 vacation to the Magic Kingdom on Eastern.
Rosenbluth Travel's impressive corporate reservation center is the most sophisticated travel operation in the entire Delaware Valley. To the corporate traveler, that means instant reservations, guaranteed lowest fares, and 24-hour service. We've combined computer technology with personal service, enabling us to better respond to the traveler's needs. No other travel firm can match our capabilities, which is why most of the area's largest firms, including the Flyers, trust us with their travel plans.
A phenomenon that has always puzzled me is why some people settle for the ordinary when they could have the extraordinary.
The genius of Betamax, only from Sony.
Guests receive sports shoes compliments of Adidas, the world-famous maker of shoes and apparel for sports and casual wear. Whatever your favorite sport, get the feeling for winning with Adidas at Schuster Shoes, 170 Whitehorse Pike in Berlin, New Jersey.
Back at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, Gene Hart along with Bobby Taylor as the Pens outscored the Flyers 2-1 in that period, up their lead 5-2. But first half of the period belonged to Philadelphia after going aboard through 3 power play opportunities, Chief. They finally cashed in on the 4th one of the night, and it was a dandy Wilson, Linsman, and Prop.
Well, Gene, a lot of times in a power play, a big key is to move that puck quickly so that you can catch that team leaning in that defensive 4-man situation. Flyers moved it very well, very quickly. And the big thing is that their passes were on the stick this time, and Prop didn't have to wait for or stop the puck. He shot it quickly, and he beat Dion.
That made it 3-2, and through the next 8 or 9 minutes, the Flyers had a couple of opportunities to tie. And as we've said earlier, with the youngsters in the lineup, they're going to make mistakes. But oddly enough, it was an old veteran that made a mistake that led to the goal by Paul Gardner to make it 4-2.
Well, you don't like to see that puck given away needlessly in your own zone, and the Flyers had complete control of it in behind or at the side of the net with Reggie Leach. And Leach, of course, wanted to take some of the pressure off that Pittsburgh was putting on. And he tried to get that puck out, but it was a weak shot off the boards that Carlisle really easily knocked it down. And the big thing is that the shot came around, and with the shot coming from the point, Gardner, who is so adept at tipping that puck in around that goal, put it right between the 5-hole, and the Penguins had a 2-goal lead.
And Tommy Gorns picked up the Flyers' 7th penalty in the game, and the Pens erupted for their 3rd power play goal of the night. They're 8th in 3 games against Philadelphia. Carlisle getting this one. It was his first goal with 6 assists against Philadelphia for 7 points. Shots are 29-21 for Pittsburgh. They lead it 5-2, and we'll have the 3rd period coming your way after this.
Lots of motor oils talk protection and mileage. I want proof.
Proof. New York taxis drove over 250,000 punishing miles with no oil-related failures. That's Haviland Supreme Protection. Proof. After 1,000,000 miles of state trooper driving, no oil-related failures. Proof. In fuel economy tests, it delivered improved mileage. Texaco Haviland Supreme.
Toast the Eagles with the team mug from Texaco. A $5 value, only $2.79 at your participating independent Texaco retailer.
When Fields came to me to do this, I said, I'm not Bert or Harry. I'm Jimmy Breslin, a writer. But beer is a subject that's not exactly unknown to me. So I tried one. I liked it. It's good beer. I tried another. It's better than good. It's a good drinking beer. That's how I describe Fields. It's a good drinking beer.
Fields, it's a good drinking beer.
A phenomenon that's puzzled me is why some people settle for the ordinary when they could have the extraordinary. Perhaps its cause is simply a lack of knowledge. Fortunately, I've never had that problem. So choosing a home videotape recorder was relatively easy. I chose the Sony Betamax, but when I observed how it performed so many complex technological functions with such ease and simplicity, I no longer saw a machine. I saw genius.
The genius of Betamax, only from Sony.
Back here at Pittsburgh, Flyers out on the ice. Pittsburgh is yet to make their appearance. They are up on the Philadelphia team, 5-2, as we go into this 3rd and final period. Other action around the league, Montreal has taken a 1-0 lead over Detroit in the 2nd period. Hunter, the goal scorer for Montreal. Rangers lead Washington late in the 2nd, 2-1. Minnesota is getting beaten by Hartford early in the 3rd period. Hartford has 4, Minnesota 1. Edmonton 3-1 over Colorado late in the second period. That game in Edmonton. Quebec is getting thrashed by Boston 9-1, almost near the end of the final period, third period. The Bruins really giving it to Quebec. That is up in Quebec, by the way.
That's the most goals ever scored by a visiting team at Le Coliseum in Quebec in the NHL.
And Calgary and St. Louis are deadlocked at 1 apiece, too. I believe that's a first period score, Gene. Well, it's a big comeback right now, 5-2 with a 3-goal cushion Pittsburgh has. But a big key when you're down by 3 is that to try and get that goal real early. And then that seems to try and set the play for you. That pressure comes almost onto the team that's losing, or pardon me, winning, because you know you don't want to give up that 4th goal to come within 1, because then all of a sudden it seems to really drive that opposition. And I'm sure Pittsburgh's well aware of that. They want to make it sure that they play a real tight, close checking game in the first 10 minutes of the third period.
By the way, Bobby, Buffalo is up that lead now in at New York against the Islanders to 4-1. The Islanders have only lost 1 game all year, and it's come in their own building 9-6 to L.A.
Well, Eddie Johnston, the coach of Pittsburgh, has really turned this power play around. When he first came over here 2 seasons ago, that's what was one of his priorities, was that he wanted to get the power play working, because 3 years ago, Pittsburgh wanted to refuse a penalty and just take the yardage before that they had it. But now they have been a very potent power play team. As Gene mentioned before the game, they lead the league in power play goals, not percentage, but goals scored. And they're clicking on about a 50% efficiency against Philadelphia this season. They've picked up 9 power play goals in 18 opportunities.
All right, Bridgman out along with Barber and Gorance, Cochran and Jimmy Watson. It's Ferguson with Graham and Malone, defensively Baxter and Price. Philadelphia with a draw up on the left side. Jimmy Watson slides it in. Gorance, the only one in pursuit. It's Price winding around to his own left wing side, and Graham there. Forechecked by Bridgman. Gorance in there as well. And we get a quick standoff and a face-off in the Flyers' offensive right wing circle. They all jam in the corner here as Gorance is joining with Pat Graham. Hey, Chafe, we got the 6th annual Flyer-Wise Fight for Lives Carnival. It's going to be held Sunday, November 29th at the Spectrum. That's just 3 weeks from tomorrow. Now, all proceeds, as you know, will benefit the Barry Ashby Leukemia Research Laboratories at Hahnemann Hospital. Now, among many of the things you can do there, you can have your picture taken with the Stanley Cup, win a week for 2 at the Pierre Marc in Acapulco via Mexicana Airlines, courtesy of Rosenbluth Travel, or bid at the silent auction, and much, much more. Tickets can be purchased for $4 at the Spectrum, Hahnemann Hospital, all Ticketron outlets. The Spectrum Showcase stores at Deptford Mall and the King Court at King of Prussia, all Flyer home games. Come out. It's a great cause. The Flyer-Wise Fight for Lives Carnival, Sunday, November 29th. Pence Price off to his partner in crime defensively. Paul Baxter ices it. Racing after it, Ferguson's going to get there first for Pittsburgh to take off the icing, but he loses the puck to Bridgman, who sends it up ice to Gorance, through to Barber. 2-on-2 at the Pittsburgh line. Right wing pass, and Gorance at a sharp angle. Schutz went in on Dion, who covers that one, as the Pens again driving the shooter way off at an angle, with Gorance tying up the defenseman Price, stealing the puck away. Out to the left point, Jimmy Watson looks, drive deflected by the skate of Ferguson behind the Pittsburgh net, where Baxter again winds it to Watson at the point. Kept into Barber along the left wing boards. Tries to feed to Gorance. He rolls it behind the net to Bridgman. Bridgman waiting in front. Shot. Oh, and Jimmy Watson coming in from the left side. Almost drove it past Dion, who covered up the rebound and the initial shot. With 1:05 gone in the third period, it remained Pittsburgh 5 and the Flyers 2.
Excellent opportunity for Philadelphia, and a good play by Jimmy Watson from moving in from that defensive position to the slot, or to the top of the circle, to get that pass from Bridgman. And again, Bridgman holding on to the puck, making sure that he could make the right play. He did. Dion beat Watson at the short side and then held on for that face-off. But a good heads-up play by Bridgman. Good play by Watson for moving to the hole.
Gardner with a goal out there with Kehoe and Boutet. Carlisle on with Stackhouse. The Flyers get it. Leach winds it behind the net. It'll be picked up by Carson. It's front card by Carlisle. Dug out by Clark in the slot. Leach the shot. Blocked. The rebound is blocked and then sent down the ice by Kehoe. And we're going to have an icing as Steve Smith trails in after it for the stoppage of play.
5-2 the score. Pittsburgh in the lead. We're just underway here in the third period. 18:37 remains to be exact, but this crowd here is really excited here, and it's a sellout.
Wonder how you can let yourself get heavy like that. You think that's how I'd have looked if I were a nut? We got a fan here.
He's auditioning for Chuck Barris's show, I think.
Should have the bag over his head. Flyers attacking, trying to keep it in on the left side. The Pens break out, and they've got a 2-on-none. Boutet gonna go in on a breakaway all by himself. Hit the post to the left of Lindbergh. And we've got a play, and I think we're going to have an offside or an interference, or running the interference call against Pittsburgh's Paul Gardner. And with that, the Flyers have a power play coming up with 18:28 remaining in the game. 5-2 Penguinos.
Rosenbluth Travel's impressive corporate reservation center is the most sophisticated travel operation in the entire Delaware Valley. To the corporate traveler, that means instant reservations, guaranteed lowest fares, and 24-hour service. We've combined computer technology with personal service, enabling us to better respond to the traveler's needs. No other travel firm can match our capabilities, which is why most of the area's largest firms, including the Flyers, trust us with their travel plans.
Well, Gardner did pick up that interference call. Gene, what had happened is when Boutet broke away, Gardner came in and interfered with Fred Arthur, knocking him to the ice. And the penalty comes at 1:32.
See, on a 3-on-none, that's really a dump penalty, and if the Flyers can take advantage of it, it can certainly change the emphasis, the flow of the game. But they've got to cash in. They are 1 for 4 on the power play. As the Pens shoot it out at center, the Flyers have Clark, Leach, and Silosalo on with Barber and Ben Wilson. Then we get an offside as Barber penetrates with the puck along the right wing. Pittsburgh counters with Ferguson and Boutet. Defensively, they have Baxter with Price. Michel Dion with Pittsburgh and has travels around the league with Winnipeg, and with Pittsburgh has never been in the winning goal against Philadelphia Chief. Ryan Baker Jenks. Puck back at the Flyer line. Leach will have it. Lays off in his own right wing circle of Barber. The Flyers getting chased in a little deep. Now they get it up through to Sinisalo at center. Illy cuts on the right side, stops, goes cross ice to Ben Wilson, will penetrate, leaves for Leach at the point. Winds it around behind the Pittsburgh net. Dug out by Clark. Back passes to Sinisalo, deep in that right wing corner. Illy comes out to the point to Barber. Look, screen shot, save, rebound, poked at by Ben Wilson. He couldn't get it home. Then Dion off the side of the net. They poke at it again, and they can't get it home. Back to the right point. It is played to Wilson by Leach. Cross ice pass to Sinisalo along the right forwards to Barber at the right point. To Leach. Drives cross ice to Sinisalo. Straight away to Barber. He's there. Drive, save, and the rebound goes through Clark to the near corner to Sinisalo. Back to Barber again. There's a drive, save, and again the Flyers have Clark and Ben Wilson in front and can't get a poke at the rebound as Ferguson comes back along with Boutet. Boutet over the line along the right wing. Has nowhere to go, and with 38 seconds remaining on the Gardner penalty, dumps it back to his own end. And there, Bobby, the absence of the Paul Holmgrens, of the Timmy Kerrs, the Flyers are not jamming the net. Here comes Ben Wilson with Barber on his left. Outlet pass through. Lynchman on the right. He's in on the breakaway. Right on in, shoots. What a save by Dion. The puck comes in front again. Lynchman there. They jab at it, and finally it's fallen on by Stackhouse. And that's so clearly and blatantly a delay of the game penalty, Bobby, that will be ignored.
Boy, what a save Dion made on Lynchman. Holy cow. He was sent in all alone down that right wing on a perfect headman pass from Billy Barber. He made that move to the backhand, and time again, we've seen Lynchman break in all alone on that goaltender and get in close instead of shooting. Go to that backhand. And if you're going to make that deke on the goaltender, you've got to go high. You cannot shoot that puck low. You can't shoot it halfway. You've got to go upstairs, rather. And Dion made a super save and was able to have the rebound lay right there with Stackhouse just falling on the puck and forcing that face-off. 20 seconds remain on the penalty to Gardner. 15, rather. 16:43 remains in the third period.
Lynchman, Bridgman, and Trop, but the Pens get the draw. Carlisle around the far side, and it slides through into center ice. Flyers will get very little accomplished now with 7 seconds left, and they'll get none now as Arthur stopped along his right wing side. Out of the penalty box comes Gardner, so the Flyers now go 1 for 5 on the power play. The Pens are 3 for 5, and really there's the difference in the game. Here comes Lynchman up through, into the zone. Works past Graham into the right wing corner. Tries to throw it in on the net. Blocked off by Carlisle. Bridgman tries to stake it free to prop in front to Bridgman at the side of the net. He falls over Dion, who came out to cut the angle down. As Malone loses his stick, it was taken right out of his hands by Lynchman. And then to make sure nothing happened, Kehoe shot the puck into the penalty box, center ice, far side. Penalty box is empty. 16:03 remaining in the game. Pens remain leading 5-2.
Over a dozen countries. Discover Mexico, the Caribbean, Walt Disney World, New York, Miami. We also have special deals for people over 65. Call your travel agent or Eastern for complete details.
Oh, Kenny Lynchman really had a super opportunity to put the Flyers within 2, and he and Paul Baxter have been having a few words with each other. Nothing's come of it so far, but Lynchman now going to make his way to the to the players' bench as the Flyers make a wholesale change.
Cochran and Watson out of the line of Gorance, Morrison, and Flockhart. Offensive right circle draw. Bullard out there with Lee and Mulvey. It looks like a giant now, and it'll be Gorance against Mulvey. Offensive right circle draw for Philadelphia. Gets it to Cochran. Impossible angle. The shot deflected to the left point. Watson a drive. That never reaches the net. Deflects to the blue line and into center ice. It's tapped back in by Cochran, catching Gorance, who picks the puck up offside. 4:07 gone in a scoreless third period. The Pens leading 5-2. Faubert a pair. Johnson, Gardner, and Carlisle. Barber in prop for Philadelphia.
You know, athletes are probably some of the most superstitious people in the world, and Tommy Gorance has tried a lot of things to try and break this scoring slump. He wore a helmet, took it off. Now he's growing a beard.
Price lifting it into center ice, picked up there and sent through into the Philadelphia zone. Peter Lee after it, but played away by Pelly Lindbergh to the right wing side where Morrison tries to get it out. Lee in front, a shot, diving save by Jimmy Watson as that pass deflected right into the shooting slot for Peter Lee. Puck behind the net. Mulvey wrapped up by Jimmy Watson. Flockhart in there with Lee, and they jam it up for the stoppage of play. Face off, Pens offensive left wing circle.
Good play by Watson, really, to get that puck there as the puck was bouncing along the boards and was kept in well by Pittsburgh defenseman Price, and that produced a 2-on-1 situation deep along the goal. And Watson, the lone defender, back. The puck was bouncing through. Price just shot it in and knocked it down to Lee. He took the shot that Watson blocked, and in doing so, he lost the stick. He was able to freeze the puck with Big Mulvey behind the net without a stick.
Interesting note, Bobby. Coming into tonight, Pittsburgh had only allowed 19 goals. There's a shot right off the draw by Lee. Dandy save by Lindbergh. Back to Baxter, right point shot. And Lindbergh got the right skate on that one to keep it away as Leach played it too far in the center ice for Carson and Clark. And the Pens give it away right back in the Flyer zone to Ben Wilson. Wilson up ice. Too far for Lindsey Carson or Clark or Leach. And it's dug out by Price through to Bullard at center ice. He rolls it in the Flyer zone. Played cross ice to Reed Bailey. Bailey's forechecked in there by Mulvey. That allows Clark to come up ice. 3 Pens across the line. Trying to play in the Lindsey Carson side of the net. Tries to dump it in front. Baxter takes it. Points it to the line, and the Flyers will get it back in and dump it behind the net. Carson around the near side to Leach. Leach has got a man in front. Can't get him the puck. Rolls it back to Clark in the offensive left wing corner. Carson knocks down his man. Tries a shot from the left circle. Smothered. And the Pens ice it, but it's going to go right in on Pelly Lindbergh, and play will continue. Long way to go. 14 and a half left in the third period. 5-2 Pittsburgh. Here come the Flyers in. The Pens break that up. They got an open man on the right wing, Kehoe. Trying to pick him up to Steve Smith, and he does beautifully. Coming off the bench and working off to his left wing side. Allowing Gorance to come out along the left wing at center. Drive from deep out. Rebound. Poke that in the slot by Barber. Deflected by Carlisle behind the net. Given away to the left point to Steve Smith. Drive. Just deflected wide. Bridgman behind the net. Tries to roll it off the side. Flyers pick it up. Barber at the right circle. Drive. Short side save. And Dion didn't know where the rebound went. But the Pens kept the Flyers away. Behind the net, Barber digs it out. Tries to get it in front to Gorance. Blocked off by Gardner. Rolled behind the net by Barber. Gorance is in there. Taken away by Carlisle. He'll start out with Kehoe and Boutet. Hetman's Kehoe into the zone along the right wing side. Long drive. Wide and high of Lindbergh and ricochets to the point. Price, though, for Pittsburgh keeps it in. rolls it into the Pens' offensive left wing corner, bumps out Fred Arthur. The puck at the side of the Philadelphia net, played by Kehoe in front. Boutet was going the wrong way, couldn't take the shot. Kehoe comes in front, tries to hit Gardner. Pass blocked up in the air by Fred Arthur. Tries to knock it out of harm's way to the point. Shot. Save in front by Lindbergh. Off the drive by Baxter, who gets it back. Rolls it around to the left wing corner behind the net to Paul Gardner. Poked loose to the near side, but the Pens, ferocious now, keep it in. Gardner behind the net, wrapped up by Mel Bridgman. That allows Steve Smith to take it. Around to the left side of his net. Works up to the circle. Plays it through past Bridgman at center ice, but the Pens, with that furious bit of offensive thrust, got applause from the sellout here. Now going in is Ferguson, but he's beaten by Lintzman. Hooks it off Lintzman's stick, and then Lintzman takes him out of the play as it's cleared by Steve Smith, the center. Prupp can't make a play. Carlisle gets it to Ferguson, who slides it to center. Here comes Lintzman along with Prupp, 2-on-2. Lintzman over the line to the top of the right circle. Got a man in front, but he turned his back on the play. That was Mo Morrison, and didn't see the puck coming into the slot. Here comes Pat Graham back for Pittsburgh. Runs over Cochran as they both go down at the Philadelphia line. The puck wound around to the far corner. Boom, Watson goes down, but the Flyers are able to shoot it to center. 12:16 left in the game, 5-2 Pittsburgh. Now Morrison takes out Graham, who winds it around behind the Philadelphia net. But Prupp takes it up on his left wing side for Philadelphia. Through at center ice. Morrison into the zone. Left wing's looking for Watson, who's tied up by Peter Lee. The Pens try to come out at center, but there's Cochran to cut it loose. Away from the on-charging Graham as the Pittsburgh Pens take it away on the left wing. Here comes Mulvey over the line. Drops in front to Lee. Lee is knocked down by Jimmy Watson. Puck loose behind the net as Mulvey was ripped hard by Cochran. Back to Carlisle. Drive in on the net. Lindbergh kicked that one back to the right point where Baxter keeps it in behind the Philadelphia net. In front. They had Peter Lee there from Mulvey, but he couldn't handle the pass. It had him handcuffed, and the puck comes to center. Does marvelous end-to-end action. 11.5 minutes left in the game, 5-2, and the Flyers need one here soon. Puck skips past Prupp on the left wing, and it's cleared by Baxter into the zone, offside. Well, we get a chance to take a breather with 11:20 remaining in a scoreless third period. It's Pittsburgh 5, Flyers 1. 2 make that.
Cash or check?
Check. See this check?
Yes, sir. It's from PSFS, and you haven't signed it.
Of course, you can't see the best part.
What?
The interest. I get PSFS interest on checking.
Oh, a now account.
Yep. I do my checking where I get the highest interest on savings. So, I think I'll take this tie, too.
Do your checking where all your money earns more money. PSFS.
We can help you make it.
Shane Hart along with Bobby Taylor will again give you that right score. 5-2 Pittsburgh. Their goal scorers Gardner, Carlisle, Johnson, and Faubert, a pair. 3 of the Penn goals on the power play for Philadelphia. Barber and Prupp on the power play. There's a shot by Leach. Blocked. Here comes Baxter breaking out past Leach's grab. He's got Boutet left circle, and then he couldn't handle the pass. Back to the point. Shot toward the net by Pat Price is wide to the right point. Baxter drives went in on Lindbergh as trying to take a whack at it as he cut across Lindbergh's side of view was Rick Kehoe to no avail.
Well, we have a final. Boston really slammed Quebec. 10-1 was the final score, and that one up in Quebec. So the Bruins are having a pretty good start. Hartford now leads Minnesota 4-3 late in the third. Edmonton 4-3 also over Colorado midway through the third. Los Angeles out in the West Coast lead Toronto 1-0 midway through the first.
Boston now at 9-2-3, 21 points. They lead the NHL at this hour with the most points. Puck behind the Philadelphia net. Ben Wilson out there with Reed Bailey, and up front they have Clark with Leach and Carson. Clark through to Ben Wilson, tries to go through the defense. A follow-up shot on the trail by Leach. Catches a Pittsburgh player and deflects off the end of the rink, and the Flyers will get an offensive left circle face-off. Back next Thursday, 7:30 on the radio network in Prison at the Spectrum against the Hartford Whalers, 7:30. Then a week from tonight at 8 at Toronto, the radio and television network. And a week from tomorrow at 7 at the Spectrum on the radio network and Channel 29, the New York Islanders. We're losing at home tonight to the Buffalo Sabres 4-1. Clark will take the draw against Gardner. Puck cleared by the Pens behind the net. Stackhouse is out there with Carlisle, who has it to Stackhouse out of his right wing corner. Through at center ice. Ben Wilson makes a play, and Big to it by Gardner. Takes Gardner down, and we're going to get another Flyer penalty against Ben Wilson for holding. It'll be the Flyers' 8th penalty of 15 whistled by Wally Harris. Depends on their 6th power play. 10:36 left in the game, and they lead it 5-2.
McDonald's $15 million You Deserve a Break Today game has turned normal people into dedicated stamp collectors, since every stamp could get you closer to big cash prizes. Why, Americans have won more than $5 million in cash playing McDonald's games. John Tillman won $25,000 playing our You Deserve a Break Today game, and there's more winners on the way. So even if you're not an instant winner, you're not necessarily a loser, because your next stamp could be worth $300,000.
Wilson tried to keep that puck out over the blue line to allow his teammates to get out so he couldn't force an offside as he passed the puck back, hoping to pick it up, but Gardner was right there, beat him to the puck. Wilson was called for hooking at 9:24.
Boutet, Gardner, Kehoe, Faubert, and Carlisle. Carlisle already, but there's Faubert in front, Boutet, and he fired wide. To Carlisle into the left wing corner to Kehoe. He's got Gardner behind the net. Boutet swooping in front. Got the two-point men closing in. Goes left wing corner to Boutet. Boutet has got both triggermen there. There's a pass in on the net. And knocked down in front was Paul Gardner. And Lindbergh covered the puck, and we get a stoppage of play. Pens 8 for 19 in 3 games against Philadelphia on the advantage. On the season, Pittsburgh 24 for 84.
Well, Pittsburgh fired 34 shots in the game so far, Pelle Lindbergh. 5 of them coming here in the third period. Flyers have 10, or 11 rather, shots on goal here in the third period.
Pens are averaging about 2 power play goals every 7 opportunities they get. Puck cleared by the Flyers and down the ice. Steve Smith out there with Fred Arthur and Bridgman on with Barber. So Faubert and Carlisle in the back, and up front Gardner with Kehoe and Boutet. Now a good check by Bridgman. Breaks the puck loose to Barber, but can't center it. And the Pens with 1:20 left on the Wilson penalty. 9:50 in the game. Come up with a man advantage and leading by 3. Over the line, Faubert. Long angle shot. Rebound in front, Boutet. And he shot wide as Lindbergh put that one right out in front. There's the dump behind the Philadelphia net. Arthur pokes it to Steve Smith. He's bumped by Boutet. Boutet digs the puck out along the Pens' offensive right wing board. Goes back to Baxter at the point. Left side to Carlisle, who has a goal and 3 assists already. He's got a man stationed to the left of Lindbergh. That's Gardner, who breaks out now into the slot to provide a screen. Left side pass, Kehoe in front, and it's poked away. Boutet's got an open net. He can't get it in. Gardner scores.
That puck was just agonizingly laying there so that nobody could really pick up a handle on it. The Flyers had a couple of players back. Paul Gardner was right there to be able to pick it up, but it was an excellent play. They kept on the puck, holding on to it. Hold on, Kehoe trying to thread the puck through. Lindbergh went out there. Not only Barber, but Steve Smith was there. They both missed the shot, or puck rather, trying to clear it out of that goal mouth. With Lindbergh down and out trying to poke check the puck away, and then Gardner was right there to pounce on it to score his 9th goal of the game, or of the year rather, his 2nd of the game.
Lynchman down that left side, shot wide of Dion, and the Pens have opened up a 6-2 lead. Puck deep in the Flyers' zone. Around to their left wing corner. As the Flyers, Bobby, for the 3rd consecutive game, find themselves trailing in the 3rd period 6-2. Icing is going to be called against the Flyers. The Pens 9 for 20 against Philadelphia on the power play. And the Flyers, Bobby, have now given up 11 power play goals the last 15 times they've been short. That's just an absolutely incredible negative statistic.
Well, it's 4 of 6 in the game tonight. Pittsburgh really seems to be clicking extremely well on that power play. It's like the Rangers of a few years ago, Gene, when the Rangers scored an amazing percentage of power play goals.
Top of the right circle, face-off shot by Peter Lee is missed. Mulvey in there along with Bridgman, Lynchman, and Klopp. Puck behind the Philadelphia net. Mulvey tries to dig it out. Works to the offensive right wing corner, hawked by Jimmy Watson, but Mulvey, bigger and stronger, protects the puck. Now gets some help from Bullard, and we get a stoppage of play. Offensive right circle face-off. They just announced the first sellout of the year at 16,033.
10:42 with the time of that power play goal by Paul Gardner, 9th of the year, 2nd of the game. I believe Keogh and Carlisle picked up the assists. .8:30 remains in this third and final period. And this is when you really try to get some offense going, and that's when you have to open up. That usually gives the other team a little bit more breaks, a few more breaks rather. 37-32, the shots on goal. Pittsburgh leads in that category as well.
Lockhart, Carson, and Leach out there. Tied up as Ben Wilson gets some help from Reed Bailey, who's challenged by Malone behind the Philadelphia net. And it's dug out by Flockhart. He'll stick handle into center ice. He's got Wilson with him and Leach. Flockhart trying to get through. Now we got to fight Carson. And,
against George Ferguson.
And Carson just leveling him. And now Ferguson gets some good rights in.
Well, Ferguson was really trying to hinder Lindsey Carson from getting into the open spaces. And when you're getting beaten, you've had a bad stretch of it. Frustration sets in a lot quicker than it would normally. And Carson gave Ferguson a shot with a glove behind the head. Then they both looked at each other, decided to drop the gloves and go at it. And they're now being separated. Both of them will make their way to the penalty box, probably picking up majors for fighting.
Carson, of course, had a first period imbroglio with Pat Price. While we pick up those penalties, 8:13 remain in the game. Pittsburgh 6 and the Flyers 2.
A phenomenon that's puzzled me is why some people settle for the ordinary when they could have the extraordinary. Perhaps its cause is simply a lack of knowledge. Fortunately, I've never had that problem. So choosing a home videotape recorder was relatively easy. I chose the Sony Betamax, for when I observed how it performed so many complex technological functions with such ease and simplicity, I no longer saw a machine. I saw genius.
The genius of Betamax, only from Sony.
Both players, Ferguson of the Penguins, Carson of the Flyers, will just pick up majors for fighting at 11:47, so the teams will not play shorthanded at all.
Flyers have 9 of the game's 17 penalties. Those are the first majors for fighting. Carson with has 1, 2, 3, 4th penalty of the night. He has a total of 32 minutes as Pittsburgh shoots it out of their zone and up the ice. And for the usually placid George Ferguson, he now has 25 minutes on the air. Here come the Flyers back along the far side. Puck is taken away from Flockhart, sent through to Graham. Coming up ice through to Lee. Graham breaking for the net. Puck dumped off to the side of Lindbergh on the deflection, and he hangs on for the stoppage of play.
Russell took a little time in blowing. Wally Harris probably waiting to see if Lindbergh was going to make a play, but it was pretty tough with Malone standing right there waiting for that to happen. 6-2 the score, 7:47 remains in the game. Now Wilson's having a few words with somebody. I'm not sure if it's the linesman Bob Luther or if it was Greg Malone. Now Wally Harris has gone over to say something to Wilson. Wilson, of course, saying it back to Wally Harris.
Mulvey out along with Bullard and Lee. Flockhart on the Flyer line with Leach. And Clark as up ice the Flyers come. A pass dumped at center, knocked down by Lee. And as he grabs it on the follow-up, he's drilled by Flockhart. And when he touches the puck, he's called for a high stick violation.
Lee was a former #1 draft pick of Montreal. In '76, he and Schutt were the 2 first-round draft picks Montreal had that year, and they traded them here. Schutt, of course, is down in the minors now.
Puck dumped into the right side of Lindbergh. Dug out by Lindsey Carson, or by Reed Bailey. It tries to headman Clark. It will be an icing. If Stackhouse holds off Clark, that allows Carlisle to get there first. But Wally Harris is all right. That's it. No icing as the Pens break out, though. They've got Mulvey on the left side, trailed by Bullard. Breaking for the net. There's a man, Lee. He's in front. Saved by Lindbergh on a good backhand drive. Here comes Clark back for Philadelphia, playing a wing on a line with Flockhart. But the pass is given away. Here comes Bullard breaking in, left circle drive, wide of the long side to the right point. Lee tries a shot, but Flockhart takes it away and will come with Gorn 2-on-2. At the line, Flockhart tries to go inside Stackhouse. Play broken up. Stackhouse strips him of the puck, but it goes back to the point. Steve Smith, the shot deflected over the top of the net by Flockhart, with Mulvey trying to get the puck through and does to center ice to Gardner, who's picked up 2 goals tonight, his 8th and his 9th, as the Pens lead at 6-2. Philadelphia gets it. Fred Arthur through to Barber at center ice. Hits Bridgman. He stopped. Gorence tries to roll it in. Picked up by Bridgman. Into the slot to Barber. Turnaround shot, and Dion steers it off to his right, where it's played by Pat Price, but not out. Willie Barber chops it down and rolls it behind the Pittsburgh net. 6:16 left in the game. 6-2 Pittsburgh. Here comes Kehoe at its center ice with Boutet. Right wing to Baxter. Long angle play. Doesn't get the shot. Now comes out of the left circle to the point. Winding up and a drive from that right point by Gardner. Looking for the hat trick is deflected up into the end seats.
You know, Paul Gardner is kind of a success story, Gene. You know, when he was playing with Colorado, he was a big goal scorer, but the big knock against him was that he only played one half of the ice, and that was the offensive end of it. And he couldn't play in his defensive zone and got traded to Toronto. Toronto really never gave him a shot to play there. Ended up going to the minor leagues. Pittsburgh rescued him, and Eddie Johnson has given this young man an awful lot of confidence, and he's even credited Johnson with that. He's become a big part of this team.
Got in on the draw through a screen by Baxter, and Lindbergh comes up with the Pens' 40th shot of the game. Philadelphia's Lintzman through on the near side. Pittsburgh stands tall. Lintzman right at the blue line, maintains the puck, looking for some help. Rolls it to the near side. Boutet intercepts and sends it away to Kehoe at center ice on the right wing, joined by Gardner. Gardner breaks for the net. Flip in on Lindbergh. Bounces off his pads into the goal mouth. And there is Boutet with the stick up high against Cochran. And Boutet never lets go of the stick.
It's always up around your face all the time. Pretty tough. You know, one thing too, when they have a player that way, Gene, it's almost makes the other player a little bit leery because you're not sure if he's going to use it or not.
We have 5:36 left in the game. Pens 6, Flyers 2.
You have $1,000. Should you put it in the bank or in Delaware Cash Reserve? You figure it out. Only 5.5% savings account interest against high money market dividends credited daily. A certificate with substantial penalties for premature withdrawal or no penalty liquidity. You figure it out. Then call Collect 215-988-1333. 988-1333. Delaware Cash Reserve, the money market fund from the Delaware Group.
5:36 remains. 6-2 Pittsburgh in the lead.
Face-off won by Lintzman at his own left circle. Feeds it around behind the net to Watson, to outlets on the right wing at center ice for Cochran. Return pass to Lintzman. Blocks with his skates. Can't get through Boutet, and Carlisle rips it up to Kehoe on the right wing at center ice. Rink-wide pass to Boutet. Penetrates. He's got Carlisle breaking for the net. Morrison hooks him down, and we're going to have another Flyer penalty. Hooking to Gary Morrison. Flyers now have 10 of the game's 18 penalties, and the Pens already 4 for 6 on the advantage. Get their 7th try of the night.
That's a tough thing to do when you have all those power play opportunities with Pittsburgh cooking there. Morrison trying to come over to take a body check at Boutet, but when you take a run at somebody and he can see you coming, it's very easy for him to sidestep you, and that's what Boutet did. He sidestepped Morrison. Morrison tried to get a piece of him, hooked him down, and he'll go off for the penalty. 14:43 is the time of that minor to Morrison for hooking.
Colbert got 2 of the power play goals in the first. Carlisle 1 in the second, and Gardner here in the third. Last year, the Pens had 4 power play goals in that game on December 13th. 3 of them by Gardner, but the Flyers countered with 3 goals by Bobby Clark, and they won it 6-5.
There's some other action, Gene. Midway through the third period, Montreal leads Detroit 3-1.
Gardner, Kehoe, Boutet, Carlisle, and Faubert. They control in the Flyers zone. Faubert, long right circle shot. Looked like it got Lindbergh in the right blocker and up into the end seats.
Boy, did Faubert ever get a lot of that shot, Gene. And he's been going high. Every time he's had that opportunity on goal, he's been going very high. And he scored his second goal of the game high up over the shoulder. This time he tried to hit the far side.
Flyers get the puck in their own corner. Wilson is tripped, and Boutet's going to go off. So Pat Boutet picks up Pittsburgh's 9th penalty. And for the pugnacious winger, he now has 6 penalty minutes on the air.
14:53 is the time of that penalty, just 10 seconds after Morrison's penalty. Wilson made an excellent return move, and then Boutet gets a tripping call when it was closer to hooking, really. And it almost looked like Wilson might have fallen on his own, Gene, as he tried to make that quick, sharp turn. But there goes the power play opportunity Pittsburgh had. They only had it for 10 seconds.
But it'll count on the records. So they'll play 5 aside if there are no further penalties for a minute 50. Then the Flyers will have a short-lived power play of their own. They're 1 for 5, and the Pens are 4 for 6. Difference of 3. The Flyers are down by 4, and there's your story. Now Lintzman tries to slow down. Baxter penetrates. He's got Bullard in front. Or like that, Graham. Back to the left point. Pat Price is shot toward the net. Broken free by Lintzman, whose stick is held. They go to Price. Right side pass to Baxter. Long shot. Lindbergh reaches wide to his left to grab for the stoppage. 4:38 remaining in the game. 6 Pittsburgh, 2 Philadelphia. With a minute 31 remaining on the penalty to Pittsburgh's Pat Boutet. 121 on that to Philadelphia's Gary Morrison as the beleaguered Pelle Lindbergh looks on. He's played 2 games. And the Flyers have seen 14 power play advantages go against him. And Buffalo in turn. And now the Pittsburgh Penguins have each scored 4 power play goals.
41 shots on goal he's faced from Pittsburgh, too.
Malone out now, along with Graham, Baxter, and Price. And the Flyers go Watson with Cochran. There's Baxter again with a long shot. Lindbergh blocks off, and it'll be taken by Leach on an outlet pass from Jimmy Watson. Long drive by Leach. Whistles to the left of Dion. Overskated by Clark, and here comes Baxter back with Graham 2-on-2 against Watson and Cochran. That's Graham swinging into the left wing corner, around behind the net. Centers right there is a shot. And an excellent play by Baxter as he almost got through Cochran. Here comes Leach back. Long shot off the stick of Carlisle, sails up into the end seats.
St. Louis now leads Calgary 2-1 midway through the second period. Real late in the third period, Colorado has gone ahead of Edmonton 5-4. Rangers 3-1 up on Washington late in the third period. Buffalo has defeated the Islanders 6-2. That game being played at New York. And Montreal now leads Detroit at Montreal 3-1 midway through the third period.
Very strange season. Colorado has trouble winning at home. They've only won 2 of their total 13 games, won 1 of the 2 at Winnipeg, who are hot, and now winning at Edmonton, who are hot. And how about, you talk about the Flyer miseries, how about Calgary have only won 2 of their first 14 games? And they're on their way to their loss in the 15th. 3:50 left in the game here. They're playing 5 aside, and Pittsburgh in control of the score 6-2. Puck stolen, no. Here comes Steve Smith in front. Shot in on Dion. He covers off to his right on the backhander by the youngster. As the Flyers picked up their 34th shot. Pittsburgh had 13 shots in the first period, 16 in the second, 14 in the third, 43-34. Now Steve Smith, who picked up an assist in his first game, got a backhand shot and almost got it through the 5-hole. Barber out with Bridgman, Smith, and Arthur. And the puck slides on a drawback from Barber right through Bridgman and through the defense into center ice. Philadelphia gets a man back. They'll get Mo Morrison back shortly in 10 seconds. And we'll get an icing, though, called against Philadelphia. Got some weird scores tonight. Boston beat Quebec 10-1. Hartford won at home against Minnesota 4-2. Buffalo beat the Islanders now. That's a final 6-2. The Rangers leading Washington 3-1 as the Caps are on their way to their 12th consecutive loss under new coach Roger Crozier. Colorado leading Edmonton 5-4. And in Los Angeles, it's Toronto and the Kings tied at 1. Puck cleared down behind the Philadelphia net. Steve Smith gets it to Bridgman. Barber tries to come out with it, and a headman's Fred Arthur along the right wing. Picked up and slapped that in there by Bullard. Rolls the puck toward the net. Nobody can pick it up except Smith. Goes back to the slot, and it's picked off there by Bullard. Morrison out of the net on the penalty box. Here comes Bullard right on in. There's a play and a shot by Peter Lee. And Lindbergh came up with a dandy, and that was while the Flyers were technically on the advantage, which ends as out of the penalty box comes Boutet. So the Flyers, in that little wisp of 10 seconds, technically had their 6th power play. And with that stoppage of play out of the box comes Ferguson and Lindsey Carson finishing off their majors for fighting. So the Penguins have not beaten the Flyers anywhere since in this building March the 10th of '79 when they shaded the Flyers 3-2. And Since then, Philadelphia has gone unbeaten in 10 and have won the last 9, including 8-2 and 6-4 victories at Philadelphia this year. Are 257 away from Pittsburgh ending that string. The 44 shots by Pittsburgh, the second high this year against Philadelphia. Montreal, in that game in Montreal on the 27th of October, had 45. But that for Pittsburgh, I believe, is their all-time high in shots in a game against the Flyers. Price back with Baxter, and up front they have Kehoe with Gardner, who has 2 goals, and Boutet, who has a trio of assists. Pittsburgh shoots it in the Flyer zone. In there is Reed Bailey to Lintzman. Lintzman goes back to Bailey at the goal line to the right of Lindbergh, gets a return pass. Lintzman can't get past Boutet, who winds it behind the Philadelphia net. Centering pass by Gardner, looking for Boutet, but Lintzman's back there to hook it away. Lost, shot right in front. Gardner scores! He scores! Hat trick! Well, Paul Gardner, who had Pittsburgh's only hat trick career in 15 years against Philadelphia, getting it last December 13th, does it again in the Flyers' next appearance in this building with a sloppy play that finally resulted in Boutet taking a little dribbler. It rolled to Gardner, and he backhanded it, and it jumped over Ben Wilson's stick into the net. That'll be Gardner, his 10th, and the second all-time Penn hat trick against Philadelphia, both by Paul Gardner. That one coming at 17:42. Pens lead this game, now 7-2. And that, though, is not the all-time Schneider by the Penguinos in this building against the Flyers. They did end the Flyers once 8-2 in a game in which Ron Stackhouse tied the National Hockey League record that he still holds for assists in a game at 6 for a defenseman, shared by Pat Stapleton and Bobby Orr. And that game was way back on the 8th of March, 1975. 8-2, the goaltender, Bobby Taylor. Clark in on the right side. Shot. Leach with a rebound. And Dion covered that one in a dandy. 2:02 left in the game. As the Flyers, with 5 minutes left in the second period, were very much competitive. Trailed only 3-2, but since then, Gardner has scored 3 of the next 4 goals, with Carlisle getting the other. Clark's shot almost found the 5-hole, and Leach was in there, tried to go right back to that position. But Dion has been a dandy tonight. He's held him away. Don't feel too badly about this one in the Flyer slump. Pittsburgh has manhandled a lot of good clubs in here. They beat St. Louis 6-2. They beat the North Stars 5-2. They topped Quebec 2-1. And they beat Buffalo 3-1. So they'll move their record up at home to 6-2, but they still only won 1 of 8 on the road. Leach was shot on the draw from the right circle. Wide of the net, and Carlisle in the last 2 minutes of play in this game, as Pittsburgh will finally bring their record to 500 at 7-2. The Flyers will lose no ground to the Islanders in the Patrick Division race. They'll still be 2 back, as the Islanders were beaten at home tonight by Buffalo 6-2. Flyers again are going to be whistled for icing. That goal by Gardner will match his shot, the shot high against Philadelphia for the year, 45. The all-time high, well, that came by the Montreal Canadiens at 54. And that came back on the 3rd of January of 1977. Offensive left circle face-off for the Pens. They have Lee out with Mulvey and Bullard. Defensively, Carlisle and Stackhouse. And the Flyers go Gorentz, Bridgman, Barber, Arthur, and Steve Smith. Puck back to the point. Carlisle into the left wing corner, trying to find a man in front. Blocked off by Bridgman. Controls around to Steve Smith on the far side and throw past Billy Barber and Gorentz to center ice. We're in the last minute and a half of the game, and the Penguins come up with a big win tonight. And up their record at home to 6-2 and draw within 1 in their 8-game series with the Flyers this year. They've won 1 and the Flyers 2. Puck lifted into the zone to the left of Dion. Come up with 34 saves. The Flyers have had a lot of opportunities, particularly in the second period when it was 3-2, to get that tying goal or to get close when the Pens drew out by 2. But Pittsburgh has gotten all the goals, and they came up with a big one at the right time before their first sellout since last February in this building. Down to the last 50 seconds of play. Up ice, the puck is led to Paul Mulvey. Penetrates down the left wing side. Tied up by Billy Barber. Puck down behind the Philadelphia net. Arthur in there with Barber and Mulvey, now joined by Pittsburgh Peter Lee for the stoppage of play. Offensive left circle face-off for Pittsburgh. And the fans appreciating that victory, and we'll appreciate those people who bring you these radio and telecasts. Our executive producer, Pete Silverman. Our director tonight, Frank DeVincentis. Our assistant director, Danny Wolf. And our studio coordinators, Mike Moreski and Ray Lombardi. Standing ovation for those who are left here for Pittsburgh's effort. Fans haven't seen the Flyers lose too many games in this building in recent years. In fact, in the last 8 years, they've only lost 5 games total to Pittsburgh. But they're going to go down to their 6th defeat in those 8 years tonight. And the Pittsburgh fans can well commend their club. They came up with a big offense. Gardner with another hat trick. 2-2 games in this building against the Flyers. Here comes Lynchman trying to beat his man. Trot gets it to the point with 10 seconds left. Then Wilson's shot is broken down, and Faubert will break it out as they come down with a happy countdown. 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's it. The game is over. The final score. The Pittsburgh Penguins 7, the Philadelphia Flyers 2. For our TV viewers, we're going to say goodnight to you. On the radio side, stay tuned for the Pepsi post-game show coming up.
The Philadelphia Flyers have presented National Hockey League action.